The Tigers hoping to break out the brooms today on what is senior day in Oxford on the campus of Ole Miss. Auburn will send Stanfield, Foster, and Pierce to the plate. Here's the defensive lineup for Ole Miss. It's John Kramer in left field. The center fielder is Ethan Groff. Kemp Alderman in right field. Along the infield, Ethan Leger is at third. The shortstop is Jacob Gonzalez. Peyton Chatinier is at second. The first baseman is Anthony Calarco. Calvin Harris does the catching. And the pitcher is freshman Grayson, Grayson Saunier. Saunier, 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 6'4", 200, a freshman from Collierville High in Memphis, Tennessee. He is 2-3 in 11 starts with a 6.64 earned run average. 42 innings for the young right-hander. He has given up 46 hits, 31 earned runs, 24 walks, and 49 strikeouts. Teams have hit .277 against Grayson Saunier. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Auburn as a team has really hit the ball well this series. 24 runs, 30 hits in yesterday's doubleheader. After time to regroup and recharge, we'll see how hungry the Tigers can be today against Saunier. Let's get it started with the voice of the Tigers, my partner and friend, Andy Burcham.
Brad, thank you very much. And the first pitch weather forecast is presented by our friends at Premium Beverage, who remind you Modelo is brewed for full-time fans. Drink responsibly. Modelo Especial beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois. 82 degrees at game time today. West-southwest winds and calm at the moment, and a partly cloudy to mostly cloudy skies in Starkville after 2 days of rain. We have some sunshine here at the ballpark today for Game 3 of this series. It's an important day for Auburn. The Tigers have won the series, the first time they've won a series. Heck, the first time they won a game here in Swayze Field since 2012. And now in position for even more here today. Chris Stanfield will lead it off for Auburn. He'll be followed by Cole Foster and Bobby Pierce against Grayson Saunier. Right-hander, a four-pitch guy. Fastball tops out at 95. He'll throw a change, a slider, and a curveball. And Stanfield, who doubled in his last at-bat last night, his first hit of the weekend, takes a fastball inside for ball one, and we're underway in Game 3.
Saunier's last start at Missouri a week ago today gave up 4 runs on 5 hits, walked 2 in 3 innings.
1-0 pitch to Stanfield. It misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strike to Chris. Clint Fagan works the plate today. Michael Durante's at first. Brandon Cooper at second, and Damian Beal down at third. 2-0 pitch to Stanfield. It misses low, ball 3.
Gabe Gross talked to the team today about patience in their at-bats. It's been such a key over the last 4 games, really, for Auburn, where they've put up big numbers both against LSU and here against Ole Miss yesterday in the doubleheader.
Wind in the 3-0. It misses inside, and Stanfield's aboard on a 4-pitch walk to open the game. And that is the 25th walk surrendered by Saunier this year to go with 49 strikeouts. And now Cole Foster to the plate. 6 for 10 this weekend. 5 runs scored, 4 runs batted in. He hit a pair of homers in Game 1 yesterday. Jammed his wrist late in Game 2, sliding into third. He bats left-handed against the right-handed Saunier, shows a bunt, and takes a strike. That wrist was bothering him a little bit this morning.
He said it was definitely sore. He was getting a little ribbing from teammates, as you might imagine. They said, how do you slide in feet first and jam your wrist?
Good lead for Stanfield at first. Stretched by Saunier in the pitch. Line drive into the stands. Look out. That ball whistled up there. No balls and 2 strikes. Didn't see him having trouble with the wrist on that swing, did he? It is his right wrist, so it's the wrist on his throwing hand as well. He's behind 0-2. Saunier comes set. And the pitch. Bunt or check swing up the right side, fielded by Saunier. He throws to Calarco. And Foster is retired. Stanfield goes to second base.
It's as good as a bunt there, kind of an excuse-me swing, a check swing by Foster, and it stayed fair, so he had to try to leg it out. And Stanfield is in scoring position for Pierce.
Bobby 5 for 11 on the weekend with a couple runs scored. The Auburn right fielder's average is up to 372. 5 homers and 23 runs batted in. Stanfield leads from second. The pitch to Pierce. Slider, he fouls it off.
Saunier is about 60% slider and then 40% other stuff. So the Auburn hitters can look slider first. You can kind of look middle away and start there with the swing.
No balls and a strike to Pierce. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball at 91. Saunier walked Stanfield on 4 pitches. He hasn't missed the strike zone since. Got ahead of Foster 0-2, cooks the ground out, and he's ahead of Pierce 0-2. 12th start of the year for Saunier. Here's the pitch. Way outside. Stabbed by Harris. A ball and 2 strikes to the Auburn right fielder. Stanfield reached on a leadoff walk, went to second on the ground out by Foster. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pierce. The pitch got him swinging. Busted him inside. 2 down. And here's Cooper McMurray. McMurray 2 for 9 on the weekend with 4 runs scored and a run batted in.
In both games yesterday, Auburn got a guy on base but did not score in the first inning.
Stanfield leads from second. Here's the pitch to McMurray. It misses a little bit up. Ball and no strikes to Cooper. Sitting at 12 homers, he has 40 runs batted in. He hasn't homered in the last 2 series. 1-0. Outside corner strike. We thought he hit one here yesterday. But that ball just died out there and right back in the 6th inning of game 2.
Turns out a lot of people in the ballpark thought he hit it out yesterday.
1-1 to McMurray. Stretch and delivery. Swing and a miss.
Elevated a slider there at 81. The slider and the changeup are both around the same velocity in the low 80s. I think he threw him a changeup followed by a slider.
He's ahead of McMurray, a ball and 2 strikes. Stanfield leads from second. Here comes the pitch. Popped it up. Shallow right, second baseman Chatnier now comes on the edge of the infield grass and makes the catch, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors. A man left for Auburn. We go to the bottom of the first. Ole Miss comes to the plate. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Auburn baseball returns to Plainsman Park to close the regular season against Jack State and Missouri.
Swing and a miss. Crutchfeld put him away. Slams the door.
The Tigers host the Gamecocks on May 16th and Missouri May 18th through the 20th with limited tickets available at aubtix.com.
High and deep to left, and you can kiss it goodbye. Long and gone.
Coverage on the Auburn Sports Network begins 15 minutes before first pitch of every game.
Hey Tiger fans! Line-X is proud to sponsor Auburn baseball and Protected Dugouts at Plainsman Park. Line-X is your one-stop shop for truck accessories, spray-on bed liners, exterior automotive coatings, and more. Find anything you need to protect and personalize your truck or Jeep. From the first pitch to extra innings, Line-X has you covered. Go to linex.com to learn more. War Eagle!
Auburn gets a walk, does not score, and now Ole Miss comes to bat for the first time against Christian Herberholtz. In left field for the Tigers, it's Chris Stanfield, Kason Howells in center, Bobby Pierce is in right. Third to first, it's Bryson Ware, Cole Foster, Caden Green, Cooper McMurray, Nate LaRue behind the plate, and we get to see Christian Herberholtz in action here, the junior from Scottsboro, 5'11", 197, and a right-hander. Numbers are evening out a little bit, like a lot of the pitchers for Auburn. Some early season struggles inflated these numbers, but they're starting to come around. Herbert Holt's 7 starts, 16 outings, a 1-3 record, and a 4.37 earned run average. Christian's thrown 45 in the 3rd innings. He's allowed 50 hits. He's given up 22 runs. He has walked 22, and he has struck out 41. Opposing teams are hitting .289 this season off of Christian Herbert Holtz. His last time out against LSU, he earned the win. He went 5 innings in that matchup with the Bayou Bengals, gave up 2 runs, 1 of them earned on 5 hits. He walked 2 and he struck out 4 through 90 pitches a week ago against LSU. And now he'll face Groff, Gonzalez, and Alderman here to lead it off for Ole Miss in the bottom of the 1st.
Ethan Groff back in the leadoff role. He was out of the leadoff role yesterday in game 2 of the doubleheader. He's 0 for 6 on the weekend as Herbert Holtz winds and fires and Groff swings and misses. Fastball at 92. Groff hitting .278. He has 6 homers and 42 runs batted in. Right-hand hitter, the pitch. Popped it up. That'll be a foul, and it gets back here. Right on top of us on the grandstand. 0-2 to Groff.
Coach Thompson's right. Righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, righty, lefty, lefty.
Herbert Holtz winds and fires. Missed upstairs with the fastball. 93 on the fastball from Herbert Holtz. Auburn got the leadoff man on in the 1st. Got him to 2nd, but did not get him home. Wind in the 1-2. Groff into center. That's Case and Howell territory as he drifts to his left and makes the catch. 1 out.
Asked Kaysen last night, all right, how you feeling physically after 17 innings and almost 12 hours at the ballpark? Said, pretty tired, honestly, but there's another one to get tomorrow, so we'll be fine.
1 down for Jacob Gonzalez. 0 for 6 on the weekend. A run scored, a run batted in. Left-hand hitter against the righty Herbert Holtz, who misses the outside corner with a slider. Gonzalez hitting .319, 9 homers, 50 runs batted in. Wind and delivery. Ground ball to the right side. Through underneath the glove of McMurray and into right field.
Cooper had a puncher's chance at it. He had to move to his right. It would have been a fine play as he extended the glove hand out to try to snag it. But he wasn't able to get there in time, and it's a base hit for the first left-handed hitter in the lineup.
And here is Kemp Alderman. 2 for 8 on the weekend. A run batted in, coming on a double yesterday. He's the leading hitter at .372. He leads the team with 19 homers. He leads the team with 60 runs batted in. Gonzalez with the lead at first as Herbert Holtz comes set in the pitch. Up and in with the slider. Alderman, powerfully built right fielder, 6'3", 250 out of Decatur, Mississippi, Newton County Academy. Pitch on the way. Strike call on the outside corner.
Well, the ability to land that slider for a called strike, awfully critical to what Christian wants to do on the mound today.
Stretch. Long set and the 1-1. Ooh, just missed the corner with a fastball. 1-2. Looked like the same location, didn't it?
Yeah, I'm not sure it missed the corner, but it sure didn't get the call from Clint Fagan.
2 balls and a strike now to Alderman. Here's the stretch in the pitch. High fly ball into left. Stanfield comes in. Sands the cap, makes the catch. 2 down. We ought to have an over and under on how many times Stanfield loses his ball cap today. That's 1. Give us the number.
5.5.
5.5. I'm going to go under today. 2 down, and here's Calvin Harris, the catcher. 1 for 8 on the weekend with a run scored. He hit 4 home runs in the 3rd game of that Missouri series last weekend. The pitch to him, and he drives one into left to Stanfield. With the cap, makes the catch, inning over. No runs a hit, no errors, a man left. We're through 1 in Oxford. No score between the Tigers and the Rebels. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
In 1925, Modelo began brewing those who believe in better. A model beer, steeped in the tradition of tireless effort. A rich Pilsner-style lager for those who wear their heart and heritage in their rolled-up sleeve. Since our first batch to every bottle raised today, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
By now, your daily routine is probably a little too routine. Don't you want to change? Don't you want to start playing by your own rules and escape the routine so your fantasy becomes reality? Where every night is an adventure, where new flavors are ready to be tasted, where it feels like you're a winner. Take a chance. Reward yourself. Make your routine anything but routine. Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and WindCreekCasino.com.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Alabama Power, proud to support the Auburn Tigers.
No score in Oxford as Auburn comes to the plate in the top of the second. Second inning is presented by Auburn Bank, champions of you. These two teams played 4 times last year. Ole Miss came to Auburn to open the conference season, and there were 3 blowout games. The Rebels won games 1 and 3, Auburn the middle game, and both teams were significantly different and better by the end of the season. And then, of course, Ole Miss beat Auburn in the first game of the College World Series en route to the College World Series championship. Bryson Ware will lead it off. Ike Irish and Kaysen Howell to follow for the Tigers. Boy, the bottom part of the Auburn order has done yeoman's work this weekend. Granted, Bryson Ware, your leading home run and RBI guy, batting 5th this weekend, but he's 3 for 9. Irish 3 for 8. Howell 4 for 7. The pitch just up, maybe a little bit out. A ball and no strikes to Bryson.
Yeah, at least 3 hits for everybody 5 through 9 in the order on the weekend.
1-0 pitch to Ware. Line drive off the glove of the third baseman and down the third base line. Ware around first base, digs for second. It's going to be a double for Bryson as he slides in feet first, his 11th. A rocket off the glove of Ethan Leger.
Well, you're right about that. That ball was absolutely laced. Leger got the glove on it, but coming in too hot.
And that gives Ike Irish a chance to bat with a runner in scoring position.
Auburn struggled the first half of the game with runners in scoring position in game 2 yesterday, then turned it on the back half of that ball game.
First pitch, a fastball outside to to Irish. Ware's double is Auburn's 7th of the weekend. 7 doubles, 4 home runs. 1-0 pitch to Irish. Line driving to right center field. That's down for a hit. Ware had to make sure it was going to get by, and they're going to wave him home, and he will score without a throw, and Auburn is on top on the single to right by Ike Irish.
So now Irish has driven in 4 runs this weekend. That's his 4th hit of the weekend, and that was a screamer as well out to right center.
Ware hesitated just to make sure that it got through the infield. And it looked like Gabe was going to hold him up for a second, but I don't think Groff had any thoughts about throwing out Ware and gave him the windmill, and he scored. Here is Kaysen Howell. First pitch to Kaysen. Misses low.
Auburn in the first 2 games of the series hit .370 as a team. And now with its start here today,
quick calculation.
.385.
It's pretty good off the top of your head. Pitch. Runner goes. Hit and run was on, and Howell fouls it back. Kaysen is 4 for 7 this weekend. He's scored twice. He's driven home 5. 3 doubles for Howell, and he is 1 short of Auburn's all-time record held by Todd Faulkner. Tigers lead 1-0. Irish gets his lead. Saunier comes set. And the pitch. Missed the corner. 2 balls and a strike.
Saunier does not consistently throw inner half to right-handed batters for strikes. And especially with the slider, they have plenty of film of sliders that he hangs up.
2-1 pitch to Kaysen. He shows bunt, takes the slider for a strike. 2-2. Nobody out for Auburn in the top of the second. A double by Ware, a single by Irish. Tigers on top 1-0. 2-2 the count to Case and Howell. Saunier steps off. As the catcher called time. Now the 2-2 to Howell. Comes the pitch. Miss low, 3-2. All right, do you start Irish here?
I'd be tempted. Kaysen handles the bat well. He has 1 strikeout on the weekend.
Auburn has 4 stolen bases this weekend. They're 4 for 4. Pitch. Ball 4 low. Runner was not going. And Howell's aboard. Runners at first and second, nobody out for Caden Green, who's had a nice weekend for the Tigers. Really, his surge offensively started with that 2-run single in the LSU finale last Sunday. And he's 3 for 6 this weekend with 4 runs batted in. And the bullpen for Ole Miss will become occupied. Tigers on top 1-0. First and second, nobody out. Green at the plate. Stretching the pitch. He shows bunt, takes it outside.
I wonder if Harris had ideas of throwing.
He came up, and I think he was going to try and throw behind Irish at second base.
Yeah, but he bobbled the ball.
Yeah. He came up with some purpose, didn't he? 1 ball and no strikes to Caden Green, the pitch. He showed bunt, pulled it back.
Oh, no.
Auburn's got Case and Howell hung up between first and second. Now Irish on his way to third. He's hung up between second and third, and they tag him out. Somebody missed a sign.
Yep.
Green showed bunt, pulled the bat back like it was a slash. And I think Irish is the one perhaps that missed the sign.
Well, and then he didn't slash because the ball was in the dirt. It bounced up there to the plate. Just a rough and unfortunate sequence where Howell was going and Irish was not.
2 balls and no strikes, the count to Caden Green. Howell now at second base with 1 out. Stretched by Saunier in the pitch. Ball 3 low. He has fallen behind every hitter this inning. Worked a 3-2 count to Howell and walked him after giving up the back-to-back base hits, and now he's behind Green 3-0. Pitch. Got a good call there, 3-1.
Now hitters count for Caden Green. He's taken advantage a couple of times, been on base 6 times this weekend, driven in 4 runs.
3-1 pitch on the way. Green swings and misses.
That was just a fastball, and I think he was under it.
3 balls and 2 strikes the count. Howell down at second, 1 out, a run home for Auburn. Another pitch on the way to Green. Here it is. Got him swinging. Second strikeout for Saunier. And now Nate LaRue at the plate. Boy, Auburn had a chance for a big inning. It may still happen. But Irish being thrown out trying to go to third on the rundown. And now Saunier strikes out Green. Now 2 outs, and it's up to LaRue, who's 3 for 10 this weekend. Pitch on the way. Strike called on the outside corner and then some.
Yeah, he was given new life with the 3-0 pitch that was called a strike. And then to his credit, the freshman was able to battle back and get 2 swings and misses from Green.
LaRue has driven home 3, a 3-run homer in game 1 yesterday. Here's the pitch. High and outside, a ball and a strike. That 3-run homer by LaRue gave Auburn the lead for good. The Tigers never trailed the rest of that doubleheader yesterday. And now leads in this one 1-0. Howell down at second base with 2 outs. Saunier comes set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Slider off the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Saunier ahead of LaRue, a ball and 2 strikes. The stretch. Here's the pitch. High. Didn't miss by much. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Saunier is at 35 pitches, by the way. 2-2. Ground ball up the middle. Hits the bag. Second baseman boots it, and Howell's going to score on the play. 2-0 Auburn.
Would have been a tough play for Chatinier to make if he gloves it cleanly, because Nate runs well, and it was a slow roller right up the middle. No big bounces, anything like that, and then off of Chatinier's glove, it caromed into short left field. No chance then for anything other than a run to score for Auburn.
Yeah, Howell running with 2 strikes on the ping of the bat, and Mike Bianco is out of the dugout for Ole Miss. It is an error charged to Chatinier.
Man, that's tough. That's 2 errors against him in the last 2 games of this series that are really tough errors.
Yeah, originally yesterday in the game, they gave a base hit to Ike Irish, who hit a ball off the shoulder of Chatinier.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to an error. That one he fielded. I could see a base hit and an error.
Now
and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay. It is a single, but Howell scores on the air, so Nate does not get the RBI. He does get the single, though, and he's at first with 2 down. So it's an infield single for LaRue, and then an error on Chatinier, allowing Howell to score from second. Now Chris Stanfield at the plate. Stretch in the pitch. Slider. Nice pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
And now in all 3 games of the series, Auburn has been able to get its leadoff hitter to a second at-bat in the 2nd inning.
0-1 pitch not thrown over to first, and LaRue didn't have a big lead, and he's back to the bag without a tag. That's the 8th error by Chatinier this year. 2 runs home for Auburn here in the 2nd inning. Stretch by Saunier in the pitch. Bounced up there. Good block by Harris.
To be able to get into this bullpen early in the game obviously is a huge advantage. Ole Miss used 10 pitchers yesterday. And you think usually you have 14, maybe 15 pitchers available, period, on your roster for a weekend.
1-1. Stanfield chops it foul.
Some of those guys, a couple of those guys threw fewer than 20 pitches yesterday, so it's likely that a few of those guys could come back. But the more you thin the ranks, the better off you are as you get toward the end of the series.
A ball and 2 strikes to Chris Stanfield. LaRue gets his lead at first, 2 down in the inning. A throw over. A short toss over. Of the 6 pickoffs this season, Saunier does not have one of them. Teams have been successful 8 out of 12 times stealing on Grayson Saunier. 1-2 pitch coming up to Stanfield. Here it is. High with the slider. 2-2. 2 runs home for Auburn in the inning on 3 base hits plus an error. LaRue gets his lead at first. Stretch in the pitch. Oh my goodness gracious. Called strike 3. That was off the outside corner, and the inning is over. All right. 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, 1 man left for Auburn. To the bottom of the 2nd. The score: Auburn 2, Ole Miss nothing. And this is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Auburn baseball returns to Plainsman Park to close the regular season against Jack State and Missouri.
Swing and a miss. Crotchfeld put him away. Slams the door.
The Tigers host the Gamecocks on May 16th and Missouri May 18th through the 20th, with limited tickets available at aubtix.com.
High and deep to left, and you can kiss it goodbye. Long gone.
Coverage on the Auburn Sports Network begins 15 minutes before first pitch of every game.
We always picture the SEC student athlete for their speed, their vertical, their agility. But it's time we picture them for more. For their campus voice, their community outreach, and for the simple fact that 20 years later, they're still someone's pride and joy. More than students, more than athletes. In the SEC, it just means more.
Eleven pitches for Christian Herberholz in the first as he toes the rubber for his warm-up tosses in the second. He's been staked to a 2-0 lead. Auburn won here yesterday, 16-4 in 8 innings. And then 8-2 in the second game, sweeping the doubleheader here. It is Auburn's first 5-game win streak in SEC play since the last game of the 18 season and the first 4 games of the 19 SEC season. Here's Ethan Leger.
And before that, you go back to 2011 to find the last time that one team won 5 straight SEC games. One Auburn team.
Leger 2 for 6, a couple runs scored. First pitch to him, and he swings and flies it into very shallow center. Howell is in, Foster is out, and Howell takes charge. Foster tried to call off Case and Howell, but Howell called him off. They talk about it a little bit. I'm not sure that Cole heard Howell until the last minute. Just judging from his reaction, 1 out.
I think that's very possible. I wonder if Kaysen didn't feel secure that he had it until late either.
Here's Anthony Calarco, first baseman, 3 for 8 on the weekend, a couple runs batted in. Batting .291, 5 homers, 31 runs batted in. The pitch. It misses low, 2-0. 2-0 Tigers on top in game 3. This is a graduation Saturday in Oxford. Must have been one of the flyovers at a graduation. 2-0 pitch to Calarco. Swing and a miss out in front of the change. 2 balls and a strike.
There do seem to be more people walking from various areas around campus toward the ballpark.
Pitch. Calarco swings at a fastball and comes up empty. 6'4", 235, a senior from Wilmette, Illinois. That's a Chicago suburb. He transferred here from Northwestern. 2-2 pitch from Herberholz. This is low, 3-2. One out, nobody on for the Rebels in the bottom of the second. 3-2 count to Calarco. Wind and delivery. Ground ball to the left side, backhand stab by Ware. His throw to first, high, and pulls McMurray off the bag, but he tagged the runner coming by. Nicely played, Cooper McMurray. He had to come off the bag into foul ground. It was a high throw from Ware, but he still managed to tag a Calarco going by.
And absolutely zero argument from Ole Miss. That's a fine play by McMurray.
2 down, and here's Peyton Chatinier, the second baseman. Wind in the pitch from Herberholz, right down the middle with a changeup for a strike.
I respect the fact that Calarco nor any of the Ole Miss coaches this day and age, you get so used to seeing people. No, review immediately.
Yeah.
No, he got the tag in there.
0-1. High fly ball to left. In now to his right. Stanfield. 3 up, 3 down for the Rebels. After Auburn gets 2 in the top of the inning, Herberholz puts up a 0 in the bottom. We're through 2 in Oxford. Auburn 2, Ole Miss nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
A swing so powerful it takes our breath away.
Whoa, what a grab!
A double play that has us high-fiving strangers, swaying together with every take me out to the ball game, and the rally that brings us to our feet as one. At Alabama Power, we believe that sharing 9 innings of baseball makes us a better community. It's a powerful spirit that energizes the communities we serve. It's power for a better Alabama. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
I'm Stuart Vance with the Vance Law Firm, and we're excited to be a proud partner of Auburn Athletics. This Auburn baseball season, the 3rd inning of every home game is sponsored by the Vance Law Firm. We're located right here in Central Alabama and ready to work for you. If you've been injured in a car wreck, let the Vance Law Firm get you the compensation you deserve. Call us today for a free consultation. It's as easy as dialing 3 for me. 333-3333.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Coach Pest Control and the Centricon system. You don't have to live with termites.
2-0 Auburn. Tigers come to the plate in the top of the third. Conecuh Sausage, proud to sponsor Auburn baseball. Conecuh Smoked Sausage, a fan favorite for tailgating. Now you can enjoy their grilled sausage dogs and premium hot dogs inside Plainsman Park. That's where we're headed next. Conecuh, still family owned, made in Evergreen, Alabama since 1947. Make Conecuh Sausage part of your game day.
Hayden Murphy, Drew Nelson head down to the Auburn bullpen.
And there are others that went down before them, including Zach Crotchfeld. Here's Cole Foster to lead off the Auburn third. Tapped back to the pitcher in the first inning. .41 pitches for Saunier in the first 2 innings, and the first pitch by Foster is driven to right, and that is gone over the bullpen. 10th home run of the year for Cole Foster, his third of the weekend. How many times have we seen Cole Foster ambush a first pitch fastball in his career at Auburn?
Yep, it's part of his identity, and he was ready for that one. Saunier felt confident after striking out Stanfield to end the second inning. He threw Foster a first pitch fastball. Cole was ready for it, as you mentioned. 3 home runs on the weekend, and if his wrist is still sore, it's a little less sore right now.
Leadoff homer by Foster. Tigers up 3-0. Here's Bobby Pierce, the pitch. Down the middle for a strike. Pierce, a strikeout victim in the first. He's 5 for 12 this weekend with a couple runs scored. Right-hander on right-hander here. Winding the pitch. Inside, ball 1. That bullpen for Auburn is starting to get active right now. 1-1 pitch to Pierce. Inside, ball 2. 3-0 Tigers on top, and action now in the bullpen for the Rebels. That same bullpen that Foster just hit his home run over. 2-1 pitch. Strike call. 2-2. Off-speed delivery. At 83. Drew Nelson is the first one to start throwing in the Auburn pen. 2-2 pitch to Pierce. Here it is. Ground ball left side and into left field. Over the head of the third baseman, Leger. And Bobby Pierce has his 6th hit of the weekend. A bouncing ball over Leger and into left. And like the second, Auburn gets back-to-back hits to open the third.
Really good job by Pierce with 2 strikes, stayed down on the ball, and he had a couple like that yesterday that weren't just tattooed, but they found an open place. That one just beyond Leger's reach.
Here's Cooper McMurray, who popped up to the second baseman to end the first inning. Cooper 2 for 10 this weekend. Stretched by Saunier in the pitch. Just missed the outside corner with the changeup. 1 ball and no strikes to McMurray. 12 homers. Now 3 in double-figure homers now with that leadoff homer by Foster. He has 10. McMurray 12. Ware with 19. Pierce a lead at first. Stretch and delivery. Swing on a fly ball into left. Kramer looks up into the sky. Near the left field line, he makes the catch. And Pierce back to first base. 1 down. And here's Bryson Ware. Opened the second with a double off the glove of Leger at third base. He came home to score on the single by Ike Irish. Auburn has added 2 more since then. Tigers lead 3-0. 1 out. Top of the third, a runner at first. Ware 4 for 10 this weekend. Stretched by Saunier. And the pitch. Swing and a miss by Bryson. In front of the changeup at 83 miles an hour. Pierce at first. He's there with 1 down. 1 run home for Auburn in the third. Tigers up 3-0. Stretch and the 0-1. Swing and a miss. Another off-speed pitch. 2 good pitches on the outer third. And Ware's behind the balls and 2 strikes. Bobby Pierce gets his lead at first, extends it just a smidge. And now the 0-2 to Ware. Missed the outside corner. That was the fastball.
Harris was set up in the left-handed batter's box.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Ware. Chokes up just a bit with 2 strikes. Now the 1-2. Ground ball to the third baseman, maybe 2. Throws to Chatinier for 1. To Calarco at first, and that's a double play, and the inning is over. 5-4-3. A run on a hit, make that 2 hits, no errors, and no 1 left for Auburn. We go to the bottom of the third. Auburn 3, Ole Miss nothing. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Hello there, my name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
I'm Stuart Vance with the Vance Law Firm, and we're excited to be a proud partner of Auburn Athletics. This Auburn baseball season, the third inning of every home game is sponsored by the Vance Law Firm. We're located right here in Central Alabama and ready to work for you. If you've been injured in a car wreck, let the Vance Law Firm get you the compensation you deserve. Call us today for a free consultation. It's as easy as dialing 3 for me. 333-3333.
It is 3-0 Auburn as we go to the bottom of the third inning, and we have an early Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen. Christian Herberholz is finished after 2 innings of work, and Drew Nelson is on for Auburn, the freshman from Troy. 5'11", 198-pound left-hander. Is 2-3 this year in 15 outings, 11 of those in relief. 2-3 with a 6.21 earned run average. Nelson's given up 21 hits in 29 innings. He's allowed 20 earned runs. He has walked 19. He has struck out 28. Teams are hitting just .204 against Drew Nelson. And last time out in that finale against LSU, Nelson threw 3 shutout innings, gave up 1 hit, did not walk anybody, struck out 3. He earned his 1 save. That came against LSU a week ago tomorrow. He threw 40 pitches in that outing, which are the 4th most he's thrown in a game this season, and the 2nd most in a relief stint. So Nelson is first out of the bullpen today, and Christian Herberholz 2 innings, 1 hit. He only threw 20 pitches, 13 of them for strikes. And it's unexpected to see Nelson this early in the game. You hope something's not wrong, that something hasn't crept up on Christian Herberholz.
Will Furniss is the first man to face Nelson. 3rd inning presented by the Vance Law Firm. At the Vance Law Firm, they say dial 3 for me. 334-333-3333. Will Furniss started game 1 yesterday and went 2 for 4. Wind in the pitch from Nelson, and Furniss whiffs on a high fastball. The son of the LSU great Eddie Furniss. Big left-hand hitter, just like his father. 0-1. Fouled it off the left side out of play. He looks a lot like his dad, the way he swings. Furniss, one of the great college baseball players. His father, one of the great college baseball players of all time. He's in the College Baseball Hall of Fame. No balls and 2 strikes to Furniss. Nelson winds and fires. Missed outside with the off-speed pitch, 1-2. If I'm not mistaken, Eddie ended up being a Golden Spikes winner for LSU. Now a doctor. 1-2 pitch to Will Furniss. Line drive into center, but right at Case and Howell, 1 out.
Had him played perfectly. Yeah, Eddie and his father both became doctors. Talking with David Kellum, the lead announcer for Ole Miss before the game, he said at some point in Eddie's minor league baseball career, he just sort of said, well, that's the end of that line. I'm going to go be a doctor now.
He knew that medical school was in his future at some point. Here's John Kramer, the number 9 hitter. First pitch, misses high and away. And the connection with the Furness family, Mike Bianco, the head coach, now in his 23rd year, he was an assistant on that LSU team that Eddie Furness played on. Pitch on the way. A little bit up, 2-0. Number 9 hitter for LSU, 1 out, nobody on. Drew Nelson in relief of Christian Herberholz, who went 2 very good innings for Auburn. Gave up just 1 base hit. Here's Nelson's wind and fire. Ground ball to Green. Backhand stab, nicely played. He flips to first for the out. 2 down.
Ball was hit hard. Caden knew that he had time because it was hit so hard to stabilize himself after he had stopped the ball. So he did. He got his center of gravity back and fired a strike to first.
And the key was staying down on the ball that never did come up.
Yeah. Yeah, this infield played a little funny yesterday. There were tricky hops several times throughout the doubleheader. That time Green read the ball well, stayed down.
2 outs, nobody on. Top of the order, and Groff. High, very deep, but foul to left. One strike to Groff, fly to center to open the Ole Miss first. Auburn on top 3-0. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 3rd for the Rebels. Winding the pitch. Bounced it up there, ball and a strike. If we can, we'll try and get a report on Christian Herberholz, who left the game after working a perfect 2nd inning. One pitch to Groff. Here it is. Fouled back, got it in on the hands. A ball and 2 strikes. As soon as that inning ended, Auburn's bullpen immediately became occupied, and there was a sense of urgency. And Nelson, the first one out of the pen for Auburn today. He's ahead of Ethan Groff, a ball and 2 strikes. Here's the wind in the pitch. Ground ball right side underneath the glove of Green, who pounds the turf out there. He thought he should have had it. It's a single to right for Groff.
Pretty good pitch by Nelson. Outside corner, Groff just took it where it was pitched.
2 out single for Groff. And Auburn's bullpen will get active again. Here's Jacob Gonzalez. Gonzalez 0 for 7 on the weekend. Excuse me, 1 for 6 or 1 for 7. He singled in the first inning. Pitch on the way. Did he hold up and appeal to first? He did. 1-0. Nelson comes set. Groff at first, has 15 stolen bases. The pitch. Fly ball to deep right field. Pierce is back, but he has room right at the wall, and the inning is over. Whew. No runs a hit, no errors, a man left. We're through 3. Auburn 3, Ole Miss nothing. And Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit NoTimeToWait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
At Progressive, we love sports and saving you money, so we bundled them together.
Top of the 7th looks like a pitching change as they've set up for a corner kick. The 2 black belts have entered the mat, and the slider is low and away. He heads the ball to midfield. This is quite a kumite. Here comes the roundhouse. Has it got enough gas to get out of here? Unbelievable! They've bundled their home and auto insurance with Progressive. Kick savings pitch karate.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Back to the ballpark for more Auburn baseball.
Through 4, Auburn on top by a score of 3-0 in the third and final game of the series. Irish Howell and Green for the Tigers in the fourth against the starter, Grayson Saunier, who's thrown 53 pitches. And to take you through the middle 3 innings, the pride of Piedmont, Alabama, Bradford T. Law.
Thank you very much.
You're
Andy.
welcome.
Appreciate that. Irish, Howell, and Green for Auburn. Tigers on top 3-0. Auburn has had base runners in every inning.
Brad told a story before the game with about 13 unnecessary pauses in it. So I thought that's how I would introduce you to the masses today.
They weren't unnecessary. They were for effect. You pause for effect.
Says you.
Irish drove in a run with a single his first time. Freshman designated hitter stands in, and the fourth inning begins with an off-speed strike, 0-1. Irish 4 for 9 on the weekend. 4 runs driven in. He has scored 3 times. Wind and Saunier deals and misses low. 1-1 the count. Bigger crowd today than we saw here yesterday. It is not a capacity crowd by any stretch. 1-1. Fly ball center field. Chases Groff back. Still going. Reaching up. And he made the catch as he banged into the wall. That's a terrific catch by Groff, the center fielder.
Not only running it down, but then holding on to the ball as he went full bore into the padded wall in center.
Yeah.
That ball almost left the park.
Irish gave that a right. Irish just dropped his head back as he looked at the video board to see how close that ball came in to leave the ballpark. 1 down for Case and Howell, and Auburn continues, even with a lot of the outs, to get good swings against Saunier.
Cole Ketchum, a right-hander, warming up in the pen for Ole Miss.
Wind and the pitch to Howell, misses low, 1 ball, no strikes to Kaysen, who walked and scored in the second inning. Righty-righty matchup. Saunier plants and fires, and the pitch is a strike at the knees. 1-1 to the Auburn center fielder. No wind, lots of sunshine at the ballpark. The pitch. Ground ball, glove stop by Leger at third. To his feet, high throw, but it's there. And Calarco stays on the bag to grab it. 2 fine defensive plays here for the Rebels. And there are 2 outs in the top of the fourth.
2 hard-hit balls by Auburn and 2 sparkling defensive plays. One by the center fielder Groff and that one by the third baseman Leger. Auburn has nothing to show for it here in the inning.
But you continue to like the approach.
Absolutely.
You get into good swings. And you get enough good swings, they'll fall. Here's Caden Green, struck out in the second, 0 for 1. First pitch to him, fastball low. 1 ball, no strikes to the Auburn second baseman. What do you think, 7,000?
I think it will be listed at over 9. That's what the 2 crowds yesterday were listed at. But
pitch off the hands, fouled back, 1-1.
As far as number of folks in the seats, I think you're about right.
Yeah.
It is the biggest crowd here at the ballpark we've seen this weekend.
Graduation day on campus. 1-1 to Green. Catches the outside corner with a slider. It's 1-2. They have one ceremony for everybody at the Grove in the morning, and then the different schools break away to different places for the actual walking. Pitch is fouled back. It's still 1-2 to Green.
Yeah, they get their diplomas at the individual school ceremonies.
All right, a ball and 2 strikes to Green. Nobody on, 2 outs, top of the fourth, and Auburn up 3-zip. The pitch from Saunier misses the outside corner, and it's 2-2. The freshman from Memphis ready again. He winds and deals. Missed inside corner with a fastball. And now the count is full. Green fell behind. It's kind of the reverse of what happened in the second inning. Payoff pitch. High chopper, left side, foul. Gabe Gross just looks at it, waves at it as it goes by. And we'll do it again.
Scoffed at it.
Sure he did. Somebody else handle that. Now the payoff pitch again to Green on the way. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Base hit, Caden Green. Caden has his 4th hit of the series. A nice at bat. Fell behind 1 and 2. Laid off a couple away. Laid off one inside. Fouled off a 3-2 pitch. And then got his base hit up the middle.
Auburn continues to score up Saunier. They gave him the middle, and that's exactly where Caden Green put it.
Saunier up to 67 pitches. That's 12 more than he threw in 3 innings last week against Missouri. First pitch to Nate LaRue has to wait. Chase Green back. Big hole on the right side. First pitch to LaRue. Strike at the knees. Threw a fastball in there. 0-1. LaRue singled on a slow rolling grounder up the middle that Chatinier then booted into left field. That allowed a run to score, so it went down as a single and an error on the play. 0-1. Swing and a miss and an off speed pitch. It's 0-2. Nate 4 for 11 on the weekend. His average climbs. Now the Ole Miss fans, a few of them trying to get behind Saunier. The right-hander comes set. Pitch way outside. 1-2. If LaRue can reach, you get back to the top of the order. Chris Stanfield. 3 runs, 6 hits for Auburn. No runs, 2 hits, an error from Ole Miss. 1-2, throw to first. Nate came into the game hitting 168 for the year. He's up to 175 with his base hit in the second. And his league average is now up closer to 250. 1-2 pitch. Did not offer it. The slider just off the outside corner. 2-2.
Appealed to first. He did not go.
And the Ole Miss fans did not agree. Saunier checks his wrist guard for the pitch call. 5 seconds on the pitch clock. 2, 1, the pitch. Off the hands, a little bloop out to second base. Chatinier is there to make the catch, and the inning is over. A 2-out single, and that's all for Auburn. No errors and a man left. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go. It's still 3-0 Tigers, and this is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Auburn's associate head coach for equestrian, Jessica Braswell, joins us.
I came to school here, rode on the team, and then I stayed and was the first graduate assistant. I didn't get to coach, but I got to see the operations side and what it looks like on the other side from being a student athlete. Then I got my MBA while I was in graduate school. So my first job out of college, I got a job with Cigna Healthcare. So I moved myself up to West Hartford, Connecticut.
Okay.
So I did that for 4.5 months, and Coach Williams called me and offered me the coaching position, and I told him I would be here in 2 weeks. That was 12 seasons ago, and I'm still here. So I've been coaching. This is my 12th season. I've lived here longer than I've lived anywhere, and it's definitely become home.
A new episode of the Talking Tigers podcast is released every Monday, wherever you listen to podcasts. Like and subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast, only from the Auburn Sports Network.
Welcome back to Oxford. Auburn leads Ole Miss 3-0. Tigers vying for the sweep here at Swayze Field. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Alderman, Harris, Leger. The First three due up. Two of the three double-digit home run guys for the Rebels. Up first here against Drew Nelson. Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by East Alabama Health. With their spacious cancer center, patients can make cancer a distant memory instead of a distant drive. And that's why East Alabama Health is Auburn's home field advantage. 13 pitches for Nelson in the third after he came on in relief of Christian Herberholz. One hit in 2 innings for Herberholz. And a gaggle of guys in orange jerseys out there in the bullpen.
Zach Crutchfeld is the lefty that is throwing.
All right, inning ready to get underway. Bottom of the fourth. Alderman flied to left his first time. First pitch here in the inning. Breaking ball drops low, 1-0. Nelson from the wind. Holds the arms out in front of him. Goes into the wind now, over the head, and the pitch. High chopper up the middle. Tough play. And nobody can get there. It's into center field. It was to the left of the bag at second. Green had the momentum coming from second base, but neither he nor Foster could get there. And even if they get there, I don't think they throw out Alderman. So leadoff single for the Rebels here in the fourth. It is the first time they've had the leadoff hitter aboard. Sets the table here for Calvin Harris, the catcher. He flied out to left his first time as well. Auburn goes into the shift against him. First pitch. Popped up, left side, back and out of play. It's 0-1. Full day of action on the Yellowwood scoreboard. Georgia leads Missouri 5-4. They're in the top of the fourth inning in Columbia. Tigers won convincingly yesterday, so Georgia trying to even up that series. 0-1 pitch. Misses inside. 1-1. Missouri comes to Plainsman Park next weekend. Elsewhere, Alabama going to run rule Texas A&M. It's 12-1 Crimson Tide. They're in the bottom of the sixth in College Station. Alabama trying to even up that series. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Took a cut at a fastball high and tight. And Harris couldn't get it. It's 1-2. A final on the Yellowwood scoreboard. Tennessee beats Kentucky by a field goal today, 10-7. Volunteers win that series. Now a ball and 2 strikes to the cleanup man, the catcher Harris. Pitch. High. 2-2. Ethan Leger waits on deck. Nelson comes set, short lead at first, the pitch home. Swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. 2 swings and misses by Harris on the same pitch in that sequence, and Nelson gets his first strikeout. First strikeout for Auburn pitching today. The K Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number one. And here is Leger. Ware now plays close to the line at third against the right-handed batter. Nelson's first pitch to Leger. Inside, ball 1. The pitch. Swing and a miss at the changeup. 1-1. One out, one on. Bottom of the fourth. Auburn leads 3-0. Nelson's 1-1 offering is hit in the air, shallow center. Back goes Green. Caden, a little over the shoulder catch as he retreated. Nice play, Caden Green from second base.
And I think he's the only one that was going to get to that ball.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Pierce was a long way off and right, so was Howell in center. That's a good job by Green going out there and catching one over his shoulder.
Before Calarco bats, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Two outs and a runner at first. Nelson's pitch to Calarco is sliced off the left side, foul, 0-1.
Calarco among the seniors honored here today, Senior Day ceremonies.
Nelson looks home, throws to first.
Look down in the Auburn dugout, see Christian Herberholtz down there. Still don't know exactly why he was taken out of the game at this point. Perhaps we find out later.
Ole Miss hit a few balls very hard, but right at Auburn defenders. Here's the pitch. Up and away. 1 ball, 1 strike to Calarco. So we said 20 pitches, 13 strikes in those 2 innings. And we thought we'd see Drew Nelson today. We just see him a little earlier than we imagined. And Zach Crotchfeld, too. Coach Thompson in the pregame visit with you talked about they like the left-handed pitchers working against this lineup. 1-1 misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike to Calarco.
I would say that Bauman is out and so is Copeland at this point. But everybody else out of that bullpen probably available for Auburn today. Auburn in really good shape going into the 3rd game of the series.
2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the stretch by Nelson in the pitch. Pulled right at McMurray at first base. Boy, he smothered a line shot coming right at the Auburn first baseman. Nice play by McMurray, and the inning is over. No runs, a leadoff single, and then Nelson worked around that. No errors and a runner left for Ole Miss. We played 4 innings in Oxford. Auburn leads the series finale 3-0. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
It's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. COVID and flu vaccines are an important tool to help stop the pandemic. The Alabama Department of Public Health is offering the COVID and flu vaccines to anyone 6 months and older. COVID and flu are still on the rise. Don't let COVID and flu stop you from supporting your favorite team. Continue to help protect yourself, your friends, and our campus by getting the COVID and flu vaccines. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Y'all, Kayla just got the perfect summer job.
What will she be doing?
Using her aerospace engineering classes.
Well, John is getting to do science all summer.
Really?
You know, John's an education major and he'll get to work with children every day.
Ashley is really excited for her summer job, too. She's going to spend lots of time outdoors.
Where will they all be working?
Space Camp.
Find the ultimate summer job at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, home of Space Camp. Visit rocketcenter.com/careers for more information.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Alabama Power. Proud to support the Auburn Tigers.
Grayson Saunier has done something no Ole Miss pitcher has done in the first 2 games of the series, and that, or no starter has done, and that is work into the 5th. And that is what Saunier is doing. He starts the 5th inning against the top of the order. Stanfield, Foster, and Pierce, with Auburn on top of Ole Miss 3-0. Tigers have doubled up the Rebels with 6 hits to Ole Miss's 3. Both teams have stranded 3. The 5th inning is presented by Southern Union. Stanfield steps in. Here's the wind by Saunier in the delivery. Threw him a breaking ball, dropped in there for a strike. Stanfield is walked and struck out. Wind in the delivery. Fastball up and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Move seamlessly to Auburn to complete a bachelor's degree in selected programs by taking courses at Southern Union and Auburn concurrently at Southern Union's tuition rates. Let Southern Union put you on a path to the plains. Stanfield swings and hits one on the ground, knocked down by Calarco. He throws to the pitcher covering, and it's off of his glove, and Stanfield would beat it out anyway. It's an infield single for Chris Stanfield. He hit it between first and second. Calarco went to his right, knocked the ball down, at least kept it on the infield, but Stanfield has his first hit of the game.
And Stanfield just beat the pitcher to first base. That's a single for young Chris.
Now Cole Foster is 1 for 2. He jumped on a first pitch fastball in the third inning and homered over the Ole Miss bullpen. Bet he doesn't get a fastball on the first pitch here. Stanfield gets his lead. Throw to first. Chris is back. 2 runs in the second, 1 in the third. 3-0 Auburn on top. 7 hits now for the Tigers. Another throw to first, and again Stanfield is back. No tag applied.
Teams have been successful 8 out of 12 times running on Saunier this year. 52 out of 57 times running on the catcher Calvin Harris.
Stretch pitch. Missed outside with an off-speed delivery, 1-0.
You're right.
Foster with 3 home runs this weekend. He has scored 6 runs for the Tigers. He is 7 for 12. The 1-0. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes. When pitchers start being careful with Cole, well, he just watches and waits patiently. He's drawn 27 walks this year, second most on the squad. 2-0 pitch, missed the outside corner. They've gone away, in, and away again, and the count is 3-0.
76, make that 78 pitches now for Saunier. And Ketchum, the right-hander, warming up again in the pen for Ole Miss.
It would have been disastrous for them if Saunier hadn't been able to get close to this deep in the game. Pitch. Fastball, strike at the knees, 3-1. Stanfield gets his lead at first. 3-1 pitch to Foster. Is high, ball 4.
Just a really good patient at bat for Cole Foster there. It'd have been easy after hitting that home run the last time up to try and do it again, but he was patient.
And as a result, Auburn has runners at first and second with nobody out. And Bobby Pierce at the plate.
Second walk for Saunier.
Pierce singled his last time. He's 1 for 2, and I think he's going to face somebody else, perhaps. Mike Bianco is out of the Ole Miss dugout.
He keeps glancing at the bullpen to catch him. He glances out there one more time. Stalks to the mound and makes the sign.
Yep, there it is. All right, so Auburn leads 3-0, top of the 5th inning. 2 on, nobody out. Tigers looking to extend the lead. And they'll do so against an Ole Miss reliever as the Rebels make the Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen.
Southern homes are particularly vulnerable to termites. In this climate, you need guaranteed protection. You need Cook's Pest Control and Centricon. Termites attack the Centricon stations, exposing themselves to an agent that eliminates their entire colony. Upgrade from old-fashioned liquid service to proven protection of Centricon at Cook's Pest Control. Call Pete Smith for a free evaluation.
This broadcast of Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. Download the Chick-fil-A app to earn and redeem points. Eat more chicken. War Eagle.
Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen for the Rebels to number 43, Cole Ketchum. Freshman right-hander, 6'1", 205 from West Point, Mississippi Heritage Academy. 0-1 this year, a 6.46 ERA. This will be his 14th appearance, all in relief. 15 in the third innings, 11 runs all earned on 22 hits. 13 strikeouts, 6 walks, 3 homers, 338 the average. In SEC play, Ketchum 0-1 with an 18.90 ERA. This is his 6th relief appearance. 3 in the third inning, 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 homers, the league hitting .500 against him. And this is his second appearance of the weekend. He pitched in game 1 yesterday. Went an inning and gave up 4 runs on 4 hits. Walked a man, struck out a man, gave up a homer, and Auburn yesterday hit .571 against Cole Ketchum. Saunier battled, that's for sure, today. 4 innings today, 3 runs, 2 earned on 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. And he is responsible for the runners at first and second, with nobody out here in the 5th, and Bobby Pierce coming to the plate for Auburn.
Pierce is batting over .400 this year with runners in scoring position, .405. Auburn already 2 for 5 today with runners in scoring position. And a golden opportunity just to get a couple of more runs on the board and steadily start to distance themselves from Ole Miss.
Saunier threw 80 pitches, 45 for strikes.
This is an Ole Miss team that has lost a couple of pitchers to injury this year, and they lost so many guys off of last year's championship team. Not unlike the Auburn team. They lost 5 pitchers to the draft, and several key position players from a year ago, and saw some injuries to the pitching staff, or is seeing them. Here's the pitch to Pierce. That's close enough to the outside corner for strike 1. Bobby today is 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout for the Auburn right fielder. He's also made a catch up against the wall. The 0-1 delivery from Ketchum. Bunted, right side, and a beauty. Nobody covering the bag. First baseman fields it, but the pitcher, Ketchum, didn't get to the bag in time. Pierce pushed it to the right side of the infield perfectly between Ketchum and Calarco, and by the time Calarco fielded the ball, Ketchum was nowhere close to the bag at first. And now the bases are loaded. That's a savvy play by Pierce and perfect execution. Bases loaded for Cooper McMurray, the left-handed hitter.
Putting it where it was, he just knew he had to beat the pitcher to the plate or the first base, and he did.
McMurray drives it to right. Oh, that's a grand slam. He hit the daylights out of it. Grand slam, Cooper McMurray, 7-0 Tigers just like that.
Wow. It hit the railing behind the bullpen that separates the bullpen from the student section in right. Typically when home runs are hit out there, they're throwing beverages in the air. They just threw the ball back on the infield this time.
My word. All right, here's Bryson Ware. First pitch, called strike. Hankey threw him a breaking ball and he hung it over the inner half.
And then McMurray hung it.
Yeah.
Over the bullpen.
Hung it out to dry out there, didn't he? 0-1 to Ware. Slices the other way. Right side up the line. That's a foul ball. And now it's quickly 0-2 to Ware. So a leadoff single for Stanfield, a walk to Foster, an infield bunt single for Pierce, and then a Cooper McMurray grand slam. And just like that, Auburn's up 7-0. 0-2 to Ware. Pulled foul on the ground, left side. We'll do it again.
That's Cooper's first home run since the Saturday game of the South Carolina series, if I'm not mistaken.
2 weeks to the day. 0-2 to Ware. Breaking ball. Ooh, left it a little bit up. That was a hanger. 1-2 the count. Ike Irish waits on deck. Still nobody out in the inning. Ware swings and pulls one on the ground through the left side. That's a base hit for Bryson. And that is Auburn's 10th hit of the game. Second hit for Ware. And the beat goes on here in the 5th inning.
Another right-hander in the pen right now for Ole Miss. It's Braden Jones.
And we saw him yesterday, too. Ike Irish has singled. He has lined out hard to center. He's driven in 1 run today. Ketchum's pitch. Breaking ball, nowhere close, high and outside, 1-0.
These have really just been quality at bats for Auburn in this inning. They're not just going up there swinging for the fences.
Yeah. And it really hasn't mattered the score or the situation.
Right.
1-0. Big swing, foul off to the left.
And they've squared it up. They've been patient at the plate.
Yep.
Haven't swung at a lot of pitches outside the strike zone.
Yeah, the hitters are going up there identifying sort of a target zone at the plate. And if it's not there, they've been as disciplined as we have seen Auburn be just really the last 2 to 3 weeks of laying off pitches that are not in the strike zone. Irish takes ball 2 down and in, and it was caught by Harris, who had to lurch to his right to keep it from going to the backstop.
And then he peeked at first just to see if Bryson was too far off the bag, and Bryson was not.
2-1 to Irish. 7-0 Tigers. A Cooper McMurray grand slam here in the 5th. Pitch to Irish. Breaking ball missed low, and it's 3-1 to Ike.
There were some swings last night that quite frankly fooled me. They have not been fooling swings here today. When the ball left the bat, it's gone where you thought it was going today.
And the air is a little different today, too.
No question.
It was real thick and heavy and humid last night. Pitch to Irish. Swing, ground ball, base hit left side. He just sent it right through the hole between short and third. An opposite field single for Irish. It's his 2nd hit, Auburn's 11th hit, and now the first 6 batters here in the 5th inning have all reached their 1st and 2nd, still nobody out.
And Mike Bianco is out, and that's likely all for Ketchum.
It's a slow walk for the Ole Miss, the veteran Ole Miss head coach.
He gets to the mound.
Yep.
He makes the motion. And Ole Miss with the Conecuh sausage called to the bullpen.
Conecuh sausage is a product we all know and love, and it's the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, patented blend of seasonings, all natural casings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true southern flavor. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh sausage dog or premium hot dog while watching the Tigers, and make Conecuh part of your game day or any day. Conecuh sausage is celebrating their 75th year in the Sessions family, making their premium smoked sausage in Evergreen, Alabama. Be sure to visit the new Conecuh Gift Shop right off I-65 and exit 96.
The new pitcher is Mason Nichols for Ole Miss, number 45, 6'5", 215, a sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi, and Jackson Prep. Nichols comes on 4-3 on the year, a 4.63 earned run average. I think he's been, as they have a closer, this has been the guy.
Yeah.
21 innings, or 21 appearances all out of the pen and 4 saves. 35 innings, 20 runs, 18 earned on 30 hits, 43 strikeouts, 13 walks. He has given up 10 home runs, and opponents are hitting .224 against Mason Nichols.
Two-pitch guy.
Yeah, Nichols on the season in SEC play 2-2, a 6.16 ERA. Hit one of his saves has come in the league with 12 appearances, 19 innings, 14 runs, 13 earned, 20 hits. 21 strikeouts, 10 walks, 6 homers, and opponents hitting .263 against Mason Nichols.
Fastball, slider. Slider has sharp downward bite. Fastball going to be in the low 90s, 93, 94 now and then. And for Auburn in this inning, the offense went from a slow drip to a busted pipe. 6 batters have come to the plate. All 6 have reached. Cooper McMurray hit a grand slam on the first pitch that he got from Ketchum. Ware and Irish both singled to the left side. And now Kason Howell to face Nichols. Righties have hit Nichols a little better than lefties this year. And Kaysen a chance to keep the offense rolling. This is now the 11th out of the last 12 games Auburn has played in which the Tigers have scored 7 or more runs. In the last dozen games, the only time Auburn hasn't scored 7 was the Paul Skeens LSU game.
And another double-digit hit game for the Tigers.
And it's still the top of the 5th.
Right. And nobody out.
Right.
And 4 runs home.
Right.
In this inning.
Right. Here's Howell. He's already walked and scored a run. First pitch swinging, past a diving third baseman and into left field. Around third comes Ware. The throw comes in. It's cut off. Ware scores. RBI single, Kaysen Howell. It's 8-0 Tigers. Kaysen didn't waste any time, did he?
Underneath the glove of Leger, and Ware scored from second on the play for Kaysen Howell. His 5th hit of the weekend, his 6th run batted in.
And now it brings Caden Green to the plate. First and second, still nobody out. Green 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. The pitch. There's a strike at the knees, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-1 to the Auburn second baseman. Pitch to him. Bounced up there, got away from Harris, but it's up the third baseline just a few feet. Nowhere for Irish or Howell to go from second and first respectively. A ball and a strike, the count to Caden. Green, with his success the first 2 games of the series yesterday, bumped his league average back up to 206 to start play today. It's a little higher now with a 1 for 2 start. And the 1-1 to Green. Line drive center field. Groff back into his right, makes the catch. And that is the first out of the 5th inning. Green hit it well, but Groff tracked it and made the catch. And now the 9th man to bat here in the 5th inning is Nate LaRue. I wonder if LaRue goes up there hunting fastball.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah. Irish at second, Howell at first. Pitch to LaRue. Called strike on the outside corner with the slider. 0-1. Auburn is batted around here in the 5th inning. 0-1 to LaRue. Missed low. Nate today has singled and he is lined out to second. 4 for 12 on the weekend. 8-0 Auburn, top of the 5th inning. The delivery. Missed low again, and it's 2-1. Auburn trailed 1-0 after the first inning in game 1 yesterday. The Tigers have not trailed since this weekend. Pitch to LaRue, swing and a miss. He got the fastball, and LaRue just a little behind with the swing. 2-2. Stanfield waits on deck. He got the inning started. 2-2 to LaRue. Outside and low, 3-2.
Tried to get the fastball off the outside corner.
So now what does Nichols do? With a full count and 2 on and 1 out. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss through the fastball. Got it a little bit up and in the inner half. And he got LaRue to swing and miss. Good pitch. 2 down. Now here's Chris Stanfield. Singled and scored earlier this inning. He's also walked and struck out. Stanfield windmills the bat a couple of times. That bright orange bat. Same color as the Auburn jerseys. And the first pitch from Nichols. In the dirt. Blocked by Harris. 1-0. 10 Tigers to the plate here in the 5th inning. The first 7 all reached. and 5 have scored. Andy said, get 5 when he turned it over to me an inning and a half ago. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike, evens the count. Irish at second, Howell at first. Big leads, they don't hold him on. The pitch is low. 2-1 to Stanfield. A few tickets remain for that Missouri series next weekend. I would imagine that you'd want to work quickly to get what's left.
Obtix.com.
Yep. 2-1 to Stanfield. Strike at the knees or just under. Stanfield thought it was low. Count goes to 2-2.
www.aubtix.com.
It ought to be a madhouse at Plainsman Park next weekend. Regular season finale. There will be a senior day ceremony, graduation. The pitch. Line past the first baseman and into right field. Irish gets a windmill around third. Here comes the throw. It is late. And Auburn gets a 9th run on the board. RBI single, Chris Stanfield. His second hit of the inning, second hit of the game. Auburn's on top 9-0.
Alderman has the best arm of the outfielders for Ole Miss. He has 4 outfield assists. And he had a good look at that one, and he came up throwing, but just a tick shy of getting Irish, who was off on the ping of the bat. A solid single to right by Stanfield.
Now here's Cole Foster, who walked and scored earlier this inning. He has also homered. Howell at second, Stanfield at first. Excellent speed on the base paths. First pitch to Foster drops in for a strike. 0-1 on the slider.
Don't blame him, because I think Cole was looking fastball.
I agree. 9-0 Auburn. Top of the 5th. 6 runs here in the 5th inning. Foster takes a ball just outside. 1-1. And that one pitch is an example of a team whose offensive focus is dialed in.
Locked in, baby.
You're up 9-0. A lot of guys would take a shot there. Pitch. Way upstairs, 2-1. But to have the discipline to lay off one that's close, but not a strike. We win a lot more ball games with approaches like this. Here's the 2-1 to Foster. Slider missed high and outside. It's 3-1. Series against Missouri is a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series next weekend at Plainsman Park. Again, get your tickets, eubtix.com. Check the schedules at auburntigers.com. Foster swings and drives one to center. Back goes Groff. Still going Groff on the warning track. He reaches up. Did he take away a home run? He sure did. Groff reached up and over the wall, and he took away a 3-run home run from Cole Foster, and Cole can't believe it. He is just staring at Groff and shaking his head as he got to second base.
That was a great play by Groff.
Wow.
I think he brought that ball back in.
I think he absolutely did. That's a phenomenal play, and that's worthy of the defensive play of the game, even if it's not an Auburn player making the game. Defensive play of the game, Cook's Pest Control in the Centricon system. You don't have to live with termites. Oh, gosh, to hear what Cole Foster is saying right now in his head. We probably need to take a break to do it. What a big inning for Auburn. 11 Tigers come to the plate. Auburn gets 6 runs on 7 hits. No errors and a couple of runners left on base. To the bottom of the 5th we go. 9-0 Auburn. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Whether you're cheering on the Tigers with their signature wings or taking the party on the road, At Baumhauer's Victory Grill, it's game day every day. With a menu full of scratch-made American classics and game day favorites, plus nearly 100 HD TVs, there's enough legendary fun and legendary food for the whole team. Plus, Baumhauer's Victory Grill in Auburn is the home of the first coal-fired pizza ovens in Alabama. Try one of their gourmet pizzas today, now delivered by Tigertown to go. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. That's why we make trucks like Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 46 years straight and counting. Made for performance and capability, made to play hard and work smart, on and off-road. That's because they're built Ford tough. So be future ready with Ford F-Series, based on 1977 to 2022 calendar year total sales.
This broadcast of Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Don't wait. Vaccinate. Protect yourself and others from COVID and flu. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Conecuh Sausage called to the bullpen for Auburn here in the bottom of the fifth with Auburn leading 9-0. The Tigers go to freshman left-hander Zach Crotchfeld, 6'2", 210 from Jackson, New Jersey, Jackson Memorial High School. Crotchfeld comes on for the Tigers, 1-2, a 6.03 ERA. This will be his 14th appearance, 8th in relief, 34 in the third innings, 29 runs, 23 earned, 36 hits, 36 strikeouts, 23 walks, 5 homers. Opponents hitting .267 against Crotchfeld, who in SEC play 1-2, a 7.94 ERA.
Last time out, he had one outing against LSU. He threw 5 pitches, and he starts Peyton Chatinier with a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. It was game 2 of the LSU series. He threw 5 pitches, he got an out, and he got the win. High leg kick, pitch, foul back to the right, 0-2.
And he did it against Paxton Kling, who was a teammate of his on Team USA. And he said Kling knew exactly what he was going to throw, and he threw nothing but fastballs.
Here's the 0-2. Now the 0-2. Swing and a hard hit ball to right. Chases Pierce near the line. Bobby still going. Now near the line, makes the catch. A step in fair territory. Momentum carried him over the line. Bobby puts it away for the first out.
Let me give you the numbers on Drew Nelson. 2 solid innings of work for Drew. No runs, 2 hits. He struck out a batter through 27 pitches, 16 for strikes.
The second hit that he gave up was to Alderman, a single to lead off the 4th inning, and he was unfazed. He just got the next 3 and moved right on. Here's Will Furness. First pitch. Ooh. Must have been a little bit low. 1 ball, no strikes. Furness flied to center his first time. Here's the delivery. Off speed.
Wow, where was that one?
I'd guess if I thought it might have been, but I'm not sure where it might have been. Missed. 2-0 the count. Wind in the pitch. There's a fast strike over the outer half. 2-1. Nice sunny day. Mid to upper 80s here in Oxford. Sun shining bright. 2-1 pitch. Hit hard out to left. Stanfield to his right has a beat on it. Makes the catch. 2 fly ball outs. And quickly tour down in the home half of the 5th.
Hayden Murphy warming up in the pen. There may be somebody warming up the rest of this game for Auburn in the pen, just because they've got guys that haven't pitched yet. They want to be able to go to them quickly if needed. So far, though, Herbert, Holtz, Nelson, and Crotchfeld have been just fine for the Tigers on the hill.
John Kramer rolled out to second base his first time. He grounds one to short here. Foster gloves, throws, 3 up, 3 down. Ole Miss goes in order and quickly in the 5th. Auburn baseball is brought to you by the Alabama Department of Public Health. Don't wait, vaccinate. Protect yourself and others from COVID and flu. Visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM. Auburn in control through 5. It's 9-0 Tigers. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Here's a clip from a recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
We're very glad to have today Auburn University's president, Dr. Chris Roberts.
You, for example, Andy, you interface with various people on campus in different ways, and your thread weaves and touches different people's threads in different ways at Auburn, and that makes up your Auburn experience. And another person does that in another way through a different set of experiences. It may not ever interface with your thread, but somehow or another, this all gets weaved together into this wonderful, beautiful tapestry that is Auburn. I'm just really overwhelmed at how beautiful this place is in terms of how it affects other people. And so I, myself, my thread has been touched by so many different people through the years, and it's just made for a really rich experience for me. I want that for our students.
A new episode of the Talking Tigers podcast is released every Monday, wherever you listen to podcasts. Like and subscribe to the Talking Tigers podcast, only from the Auburn Sports Network.
Well, they've got the dance music here at Swayze Field, and there are some in red and blue that are staying in good spirits. Auburn has been just awfully impressive this weekend. It has continued the impressive play 2 weeks ago on the road at South Carolina, last weekend at home against LSU, even the weekend before gutting out a couple of wins over Mississippi State at home.
Yes, indeed.
Auburn has won 4 straight series, and they are looking for a sweep. And Bobby Pierce leads things off here in the 6th inning against Mason Nichols. Pierce almost 450 this season when leading off an inning. Pitch to him is hit sharply right back to the net, 0-1. Pierce today, 2 singles and a strikeout. He's 2 for 3. His average continues to climb. He's now hitting .377 for the year. He has been on a tear the last 5 weeks or so. Pitch, swing and a miss at a slider down near the dirt. Boy, that broke in a hurry. And it's 0-2 quickly to the Auburn right fielder. 4 of his 5 homers have come in league play. Another run scored for Pierce in the 3-hole today. Pitch, swing and a pop-up. Went after a high fastball and fouled it away. Still 0-2. Cooper McMurray, who hit the grand slam last inning, looms on deck. Some room out in left center. Center fielder Groff over toward right a little bit. 0-2 pitch. High bouncing ball to short. Gloved head high by Gonzalez. His throw is perfect. And Pierce is retired for the first out in the 6th. Now here's Cooper McMurray. He launched a first pitch hanging breaking ball into orbit an inning ago.
You could feel it coming, couldn't you?
Yep.
Doesn't happen very often when you kind of look that way, but that one certainly did.
Yeah. Well, Pierce had just beat out a bunt on an infield, or just beat out a bunt the pitch before to load the bases. Pitch to McMurray here, fastball upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. And we've been talking about the really good swings that Auburn had been getting in this game and the good offensive approach. It's kind of a matter of time. When you keep that up, it pays off. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a strike to Cooper. 1-1. McMurray 1 for 3. He's also popped to second and flied to left. He has a couple of multi-homer games this season. 1-1 pitch. High and outside, 2-1. McMurray, the big left-handed hitter. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Whoa. Big cut by McMurray. It's 2-2. The stretch by Nichols and the delivery. It's inside. It's ball 3. They appeal to third. Damian Beal confirms. McMurray didn't go. And now a full count for the Auburn first baseman. Nichols comes set. He comes home. McMurray swings and drives this one to left center. Groff in center, left center on the warning track, reaches up and makes the catch. McMurray gave that one a ride to deep left center, but it's out number 2.
Flick of the wrist by Cooper.
That ball might have been caught by the shortstop last night.
Good point. It would have certainly been a home run if I were calling it. And then caught by the shortstop.
It's Bryson Ware. Ware swings and fouls one up the net. A big bounce down the net and to the turf. That's in the 0 slot in Plinko.
It's disturbing that you know that.
Everybody knows that.
Okay.
0-1 pitch. Swing and a foul tip.
Then it's disturbing that I don't know that, I guess. I'll just be quiet for a while.
0-2 to Ware. Bryson's 2 for 3 today. A single, a double. He has scored 2 more runs. Auburn leads 9-0. We're in the top of the 6th here in Oxford. Stretch in the pitch. Fouled back. Tried to get a fastball on the hands. Bryson was ready and stays alive with 2 strikes.
93 on that fastball from Nichols.
33 pitches for the Rebel reliever. He's the 3rd pitcher of the day for Ole Miss. Grayson Saunier worked into the 5th, faced 2 batters in the 5th inning before he was pulled. Cole Ketchum faced 4, and all 4 reached. The 0-2 pitch misses low. Now the count, a ball and 2 strikes to Ware. Nobody on, 2 down, top of the 6th inning. 9 runs, a dozen hits for Auburn. No runs, 3 hits, 2 errors for Ole Miss. One-two to Ware. Fastball, fly ball, left field, shallow. Shortstop out, and it is Gonzalez who makes the catch. Bryson got a big cut on that ball, but he got under it considerably, and Auburn goes in order in the 6th. No runs, hits, or errors, nobody left. Go to the bottom of the 6th inning in Oxford. 9-0. Auburn leads it. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
We've all fallen into boring routines. We just keep doing what has to get done. Isn't it time to escape the old routine and make time for yourself? Make time to go out with old friends. Make time to add excitement back into your life. Make time to feel like a winner again. Life is more fun when you live it. So what are you waiting for? Escape every day at Wind Creek Casino and windcreekcasino.com.
It's a great day for Auburn Tigers to get vaccinated. COVID and flu vaccines are an important tool to help stop the pandemic. The Alabama Department of Public Health is offering the COVID and flu vaccines to anyone 6 months and older. COVID and flu are still on the rise. Don't let COVID and flu stop you from supporting your favorite team. Continue to help protect yourself, your friends, and our campus by getting the COVID and flu vaccines. For more information, visit alabamapublichealth.gov/IMM.
Exclusive play-by-play coverage of Auburn baseball is brought to you by Cook's Pest Control and the Centricon system. You don't have to live with termites.
No, you don't. Welcome back to Oxford with the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham. I'm Brad Law, Quinn Burkeen in our Skyview Auburn Sports Network studios. It is a gorgeous day here on the campus of Ole Miss, and it's even prettier when you look at the scoreboard. 9-0, Auburn on top. Tigers got 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 6 in the 5th, and they lead 9-0. And the Auburn pitching has been good today as well. Christian Herberholtz 2 innings, Drew Nelson 2 innings. Zach Crotchfeld worked a quick 5th. Needed only 8 pitches to get the 3 outs in the 5th, and now he's on to face the top of the order in the 6th. The top 3 in the order have all 3 of the Ole Miss hits today. Ethan Groff is 1 for 2. He has singled and he's flied to center. And he pulls back a bunt and takes a ball low here, 1-0. Are you considering buying or selling property in Auburn, or do you know somebody who is? The 1-0. Fly ball left center. Stanfield over to his left, has a beat on it. Makes the catch. 1 down. Get in touch with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Auburn's #1 real estate company. Visit comehometoauburn.com. Start your search there. Ole Miss is going up there swinging, down 9-0. Crotchfeld getting a lot of early contact. He's getting quick outs. Here's Jacob Gonzalez, a single in the first. He's also flied to right. Powerful left-handed hitter, leans out over the plate. First pitch. Oh, he lost his bat. He threw his bat into the dugout. Went after a first pitch fastball that was away, and he flung the bat all the way into the Ole Miss dugout. He'll spray a little back grip on it.
Of the 3 base hits today for the Rebels, and as you mentioned, Gonzalez has one of them. Not one of those 3 has moved past first base. Didn't have to read the notes to get to that one.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul tip at the plate. It's 0-2 quickly on Gonzalez.
Murphy again tossing casually in the Auburn pen. Crotchfeld has set down the first 4 men he's faced.
And he's 0-2 to Gonzalez. Zach is ready. He winds, plants, deals. Fouled off to the left. Out of play. Fastball.
Defensive swing by Gonzalez. He's just looking to stay alive right there.
Crotchfeld ready again. Another 0-2 pitch due the Ole Miss shortstop. It's on the way. And he grounds it up the middle. Between Green and Foster and into center field. And Gonzalez has his second hit of the day. 4th Rebel base hit of the afternoon.
Came in 0 for 6. He's 2 for 3 today. Just perfectly placed in between Caden Green and Cole Foster.
Wasn't particularly hard hit, but it was rolled in a perfect spot just to the right of the second base bag. Now 1 out, and Kemp Alderman comes to the plate. He singled his last time up. That was against Nelson. Flied out to left against Herberholtz. Bottom of the 6th, 1 on, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Went after a fastball, swung over the top. 0-1. Auburn 9, Ole Miss nothing. Bottom of the 6th. Final game of the series. The pitch. High pop. Right side. Green calls everybody else off on the edge of the right field grass. Caden puts it away. 2 down. Nate Alderman hit his pitch. And the Ole Miss right fielder got underneath it. Now here's Calvin Harris, the catcher, who's 0 for 2 today, with a fly out and a strikeout.
3 really different looks by the 3 pitchers today. Herberholtz, right-hander with some pop. Nelson, more of a soft-tossing left-hander, although he's got a good fastball. And then Crotchfeld, out of Auburn's pen, the best fastball among the left-handers out of the pen.
Left-handed hitting catcher, Calvin Harris. He's the cleanup hitter. Shift is on against him. Swings of the pitch, lines one up the left side, foul.
Been really impressed with Harris, especially behind the plate this weekend. He's, as much as Auburn has scored, he's probably saved 4 or 5 more runs with his work behind the plate this weekend.
Very active, really good technique blocking the ball. 0-1 pitch to Harris. Called strike on a breaking ball. I think Harris gave up on it. 0-2. Crotchfeld, a chance to put away Harris, and in the inning. Runner at first, 2 down. Here is the 0-2 pitch from Crotchfeld. It's high. Harris turned his shoulders but didn't offer. 1-2.
95 on the heater from Zach Crotchfeld. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't elevate another fastball here. Something off the plate.
Okay. Here is the 1-2 from Zach. Ground ball to short. Foster, underhand flip to Ware, covering second in the shift.
The old 6-5 force at second.
Right. And the inning is over. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left for Ole Miss. We've played 6. Auburn leads it 9-0. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Auburn baseball returns to Plainsman Park to close the regular season against Jack State and Missouri.
Swing and a miss. Crotchfeld put him away. Slams the door.
The Tigers host the Gamecocks on May 16th and Missouri May 18th through the 20th with limited tickets available at aubtix.com.
High and deep to left, and you can kiss it goodbye. Long gone.
Coverage on the Auburn Sports Network begins 15 minutes before first pitch of every game.
We always picture the SEC student athlete for their speed, their vertical, their agility. But it's time we picture them for more. For their campus voice, their community outreach, and for the simple fact that 20 years later, they're still someone's pride and joy. More than students, more than athletes. In the SEC, it just means more.
Auburn leads Ole Miss 9-0 on getaway day in Oxford. Tigers scored 6 runs in the 5th. That was the big inning. But the bats have been consistent throughout. 9 runs, 12 hits, no errors for Auburn. Tigers have stranded 5. Ole Miss no runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors. Ole Miss has left 4 on base. Irish, Howell, and Green, the scheduled hitters here in the 7th. And here to take us home from Swayze Field, once again, the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham.
Thank you, Brad. It will be Irish, Howell, and a Green for Auburn in the 7th to face Mason Nichols, who has set down 4 in a row since giving up that 2-out single to right by Stanfield in the 6-run 5th. On the Yellowwood scoreboard, Alabama with 6 in the top half of the 5th now leads at Texas A&M 10-0, trying to even up that series. Georgia won, Missouri nothing, bottom of the 2nd in Como. Ike Irish at the plate. He is 2 for 3 today. Stretching the pitch from Nichols. And Irish takes it a little bit low. Elsewhere in the league, final score, Tennessee over Kentucky 10-7. Vols take that series. They go for the sweep on Mother's Day tomorrow. 1-0 to Irish. Ground ball foul. Later on, Vanderbilt at Florida, Mississippi State at LSU, South Carolina tonight at Arkansas. Auburn women's tennis season came to a close in the Super Sectionals today. Tigers fell at number 4, North Carolina State. Another fine season for Caroline Lilly's Tigers. A ball and a strike to Irish. Stretch and delivery. Foul back. Auburn softball, we'll find out tomorrow where it's headed in the NCAA tournament. Still hope that the Tigers will host in the regional. I'll find out tomorrow early evening, after a terrific regular season for Mickey Dean's team. 1-2 to Irish. Stretch and delivery. Miss low, 2-2.
Really happy to see the kind of season for Auburn softball. 16-8 in the SEC. The best season for Auburn since 2017. It's the third 40-win season under Mickey Dean. They gave Florida State quite a run in Tallahassee last year at that regional. Like to see them at home.
Absolutely. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ike Irish. Nichols comes set. Here comes the pitch. Irish fouls it up the left side as he lashes it out of play. Auburn track and field in the final day of the SEC Outdoor Championships. Maddie Malone won her 2nd consecutive SEC hammer throw crown this week. They'll gear up for the NCAA regionals with the qualifying coming up in a week. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Irish. Stretched by Nichols in the pitch. Ike swings and hits it into left. Kramer drifts back. He's at the track, and it is gone. A home run into the bullpen and left for Ike Irish. How about that? 5th home run of the year for Ike, and the Tigers lead 10-0. It just kept going and going and going.
Yeah, it sure did. Boy, the difference in atmosphere can make. Guys were crushing balls last night, and they were not getting out of here, except for Ike's. That one, a flick of the wrist, and it kept going and going. There's no wind here. That wasn't wind-aided at all.
No.
It's good power from the freshman.
10-0 Tigers on top, and here's Kaysen Howell. 1 for 2 in this game. 5 hits on the weekend for Kaysen. Stretching the pitch. Fouled back, and he had a nice cut.
Well, with the 10th run now, it means if the Tigers get 3 outs in the bottom of the inning, adios.
10-0 Auburn, nobody on and nobody out for the Tigers after the home run by Irish here in the 7th inning. Stretch and pitch. Bounces up there, 1-1 the count to Kaysen Howell. 3 doubles in game 1 yesterday. He is still 1 double shy of the Auburn record held by the All-American Todd Faulkner. Stretch by Nichols. Here's the 1-1 to Kaysen. Upstairs. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Two-1 to Howell, misses high. It's 3 balls and a strike. A leadoff homer by Ike Irish, another opposite field home run by Ike. I think 3 of his 5 at least are opposite field home runs this season. Now 3-1 to Kaysen Howell. Here's the stretch and pitch. Swing and a miss. He went after a high fastball.
He took a little liberty, I think, with that on a hitter's count.
Yeah.
Decided to chase up a little bit on the fastball. May get another one here.
Nichols comes set, and the 3-2 pitch. Swing, and he lifts it out of play off the right side.
He did get another fastball, maybe a tick lower.
Christian Herberholz left the game after 2 innings, gave up just 1 base hit, no runs. We have not heard the reason that he was lifted after 2 innings of work, but Nelson and Crotchfeld have been terrific since. Another 3-2. And Howell walks on a pitch that misses low.
Say this, and for what it's worth, TV cameras have looked into the Auburn dugout, and they've shown Herberholz walking around and seems to be in good spirits, doesn't appear to be in pain.
Doesn't have any ice on his arm or
Nope.
anything like that. We really just don't know at this point.
We know that this staff is, they're very careful. They want to protect their guys. They're always looking bigger picture. So even at the slightest sign of discomfort, you've already won the series. And at that point, Auburn had a 2-0 lead in the ball game and a fresh bullpen. So we'll obviously try to find out after the game anything that we can learn.
Leadoff homer in this inning by Irish, giving Auburn a 10-0 lead. Howell has walked, and here's Caden Green, who's 1 for 3 on the day. He is 4 for 9 on the series. Stretch. And the pitch to Caden. Inside, ball 1. Ten runs, 13 hits for Auburn. No runs, 4 hits for the Rebels. Ole Miss has committed 2 errors today. Nichols comes set. 1-0. Green tried to hold up but fouled it off. Auburn with 7 home runs this weekend in this series on the road at Ole Miss. 1-1 pitch. Green takes it inside and high, 2-1. Last 2 series on the road, the Tigers have played and won. Well, Auburn has unloaded the lumber a little bit, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Double-digit home runs at South Carolina. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Green. Howell gets his lead, the pitch. Swing on a foul tip. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, Auburn all of a sudden, after being a little lower in those team home run numbers, right in the middle of the SEC in conference games only in home runs.
2-2 to Green, went after a high fastball and came up empty. First out of the inning. Second strikeout for Nichols. And here's Nate LaRue. Singled in the second, has popped to second and struck out.
Auburn, by the way, is up to 9th in ERA in conference games only. And again, to think of where this team was after about the 3rd week of league play, that's remarkable.
First pitch to LaRue, strike down the middle. 82 on the changeup. Nate hit a 3-run homer yesterday in the second inning that gave Auburn the lead for good in the series.
Yeah.
Stretch and pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 0-2 to LaRue. Next up for Auburn, the Tigers welcome Jacksonville State to town Tuesday evening at 6. And then it's Missouri Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Leger, Calarco, and Chatinier, the 3 scheduled for Ole Miss in the bottom of the 7th.
0-2 pitch to LaRue. Ground ball could be 2 to the shortstop. Flips to second for 1 to first. Not in time. LaRue beat it out, busting it down the line.
Yeah, Chatinier almost took his foot off the bag before the throw got there at second, too. I think he kept it on, but he was close.
2 down, and here is Chris Stanfield. The Auburn center fielder did not have a base hit until his last at bat yesterday. He has 2 more hits here today. He's 2 for 3. LaRue at first with 2 down. Here's the stretch by Nichols. And the pitch. On the outside corner with the slider for strike 1. Foster waits on deck for the Tigers. A run home. Auburn leads it 10-0. We're in the top of the 7th. Nichols comes set. Here's the pitch. Missed upstairs to Chris Stanfield. A ball and a strike. With his 2 hits today, Stanfield has raised his average to 279. 2 homers, 17 runs batted in. And as everybody else has, Auburn's outfield has been flawless this weekend. Stanfield, Howell, and Pierce. 1-1. A little bit up. 2 balls and a strike to Stanfield.
And you just continue to see these guys maintain their patience at the plate. You think, well, it wasn't a strike. He didn't swing at it. Big deal. He's not supposed to swing at it. But when the game is at a point where this one is, you got a 10-0 lead in the 7th. You're a young guy at the plate.
2-1, ball 3 low.
A lot of these guys try to start overextending themselves and swing out of your shoes and lose your discipline. It's been very impressive to watch.
LaRue leads from first. 2 outs, 3-1 the count to Stanfield. Here comes the pitch. And he walked. And it gives Foster a chance to bat here in the 7th. Cole tapped out to the pitcher in the first. Hit a solo home run to lead off the Auburn 3rd. Walked and scored in the 5th and flied out to center to end the 5th. And Mike Bianco was out. This is the closer typically for Ole Miss. They just haven't had a chance to have the closer in his typical role.
And he gave him 60 pitches today.
Nichols' day is done. It's another Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen for Ole Miss.
Conecuh sausage is a product we all know and love, and it's the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, patented blend of seasonings, all natural casings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true Southern flavor. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh sausage dog or premium hot dog while watching the Tigers, and make Conecuh part of your game day or any day. Conecuh 56.
The new pitcher for Ole Miss on this Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen is Cole Tolbert. 6'4", 210, a sophomore right-hander from Laurel, Mississippi, and Pearl River Community College. Tolbert 1-0 in 8 appearances, a .491 earned run average. He's thrown 11 innings in his 8 outings. He has surrendered 11 hits and 7 runs, 6 of those earned. He has walked 6 and struck out 16. He's hit 3 batters. He's given up 3 home runs, and teams have hit .244 against Cole Tolbert. Nichols, 2 2/3 innings, gave up a run on 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 2. He threw 61 pitches, and 36 of them for strikes. Tolbert has pitched this weekend, did not record an out, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits and 2 walks. Yesterday, for the year, Tolbert in SEC play, no record, 4 outings, 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. All 3 of the home runs he's given up have come in the league. His earned run average in SEC play, 9.5.
Mason Nichols went 2 2/3 innings, giving up a run on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. He threw 61 pitches, 36 for strikes. He is responsible for LaRue at second and Stanfield at first. And here's Cole Foster with Johnny Cash in the background.
Yeah, I Fell Into a Burning Ring of Fire is an interesting song to play when the reliever comes in.
Right-hander against the switch-hitting Auburn shortstop Cole Foster. Scored twice today. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Stretched by Tolbert, the pitch. Foster drives it into the gap in left center field for a base hit. LaRue is home. Stanfield is on his way to third. It is a single for Cole Foster, and the Tigers lead 11-0. Second hit of the day for Cole.
LaRue beating out the potential double play comes up big there as he's able to get all the way around and score thanks to Stanfield's walk and now Foster's single.
And now Bobby Pierce to the plate for the Tigers. He is 2 for 4 on the afternoon. 7 for 15 on the weekend. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. The pitch. Bobby takes a strike at the knees on the outside corner. That run is charged to Nichols. Auburn leads 11-0. We're in the top of the 7th, game 3. Pitch. Pierce, base hit to right. Stanfield trots home. Cole Foster will hold up at second. 12-0 Auburn. 3-hit day for Bobby Pierce.
Gives him 8 hits in the series. Foster with 8 hits in the series.
12-0 Tigers. And here's Cooper McMurray, who had a 3-run homer taken away. Was it? Yeah, it was. It was he. It was a solo homer taken away in his last at bat. That was in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Foster had a 3-run homer taken away
a
couple innings ago.
Cooper hit it just to the left of the eye and center, and Groff ran it down. The pitch. Line drive right at Leger. The inning is over, but Auburn adds 3 more runs in the 7th. Tigers lead 12-0. We go to the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning stretch presented by Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A app here to help you savor every second of the game. Just order ahead, score before the game even starts. Eat more chicken and War Eagle. Take me out to the ball game. 12-0 Auburn. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you're going to get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
This game recap is presented by Regions Bank. Regions is a proud partner of Auburn University and the official bank of the SEC.
2 in the second for Auburn, 1 more in the third, 6 in the fifth, including a grand slam by Cooper McMurray, and then 3 more in the seventh. Homers by Foster and Irish, sandwiching that grand slammy by Cooper McMurray, and Auburn pitching has been terrific. Christian Herbert, Holstrew Nelson, and Zach Crotchfeld. And Auburn leads 12-0 in the bottom of the seventh. 3 more outs, and the Tigers can run rule Ole Miss. After this game, keep it here for the Regions Bank postgame show. Get the Auburn University Visa check card from Regions. Visit Regions.com/Go Tigers to order yours today. If this game does end in the bottom of the seventh for our affiliates down the line, including this half inning, we will have 3 local breaks to get to before the Regions Bank postgame show. A lot of ways to get there for that. Here's Ethan Leger to lead it off. He's 0 for 2. First pitch, Crotchfeld throws a strike. Zach, 20 pitches in his 2 innings of work thus far. And he has allowed just 1, make that 2 base runners. He comes set. And the pitch. Leger into right field. That's down for a hit. It's a gapper. And it goes to the wall. And Leger will become the first Ole Miss batter to reach second base in this game. A solid single to right center field. Make that a double. And here's Anthony Calarco, the first baseman. Ole Miss has 1 more home game left. They play Boston P in the midweek before closing the season at Alabama starting on Thursday. This will be the final conference game for Ole Miss. Calarco was among the seniors honored in pregame ceremonies today. The pitch to him. Swing and a miss out in front of the change. 0-1 to Calarco. Off the stretch, Crotchfeld. And the 0-1. Calarco pops it up, foul back here. 0-2. That hit to lead off the inning by Leger is the 5th hit of the afternoon for Ole Miss. Auburn has scored 12 runs on 15 hits today. Big lead for Leger at second as Crotchfeld comes set. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 call on the outside corner to Calarco. Just the second strikeout for Auburn pitching today. The K-Counter presented by Kia of Auburn, where you're always number 1. And even though it's just 2 strikeouts, Auburn's pitching has been terrific today. And we'll get a pinch hitter. Garrett Wood will bat for Peyton Chatinier. Wood, a senior from Claremont, Oklahoma, transfer from Johnson County Community College. Batting .364, playing in his 19th game. The pitch to him. Bounces up there. It's blocked by LaRue. Auburn leads by a score of 12-0. Tigers trying to close it out with its second run rule win of the weekend. Crotchfeld comes set. Here comes the pitch. Wood fouls it back. 1 ball and 1 strike to Garrett Wood. Wood hitting .364, no homers, 5 runs batted in. Leger gets his lead at second. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Wood chops it foul. to the third base coach. A ball and 2 strikes, fielded cleanly by Mike Clement. He's in his 9th season. The head coach Mike Bianco in his 23rd. Carl Lafferty, a former Ole Miss great, in his 17th season. One of the most veteran coaching staffs in the league. Bianco with more years than anybody else as a head coach. 1-2 pitch. Wood chops it up the right side. That gets out of play. Wood batting for Chatinier, who was 0 for 2. Furness in the on-deck circle for the Rebels. Stretched by Crotchfelt. Now the 1-2 pitch. Another fastball, 95 this time, and Wood fouled it off. Runs, 15 hits, no errors for Auburn. No runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Rebels. Hayden Murphy again warming up in the pen just in case. Auburn trying to close this one out. Get on a bus, head back to Auburn, get ready for the final week of the regular season. The pitch on the way. Wood, just took it off the inside corner, 2-2. Really good location by Crotchfelt. Count goes to 2-2. Zach at 31 pitches, the 2-2 pitch. Bounced up there, full count. (12-0) Auburn leads, 1 out, a runner at second base for the Rebels here in the 7th. Crotchfelt comes set. 3-2 pitch to Wood. Time called by the batter. Came with about 8 on the pitch clock. Three balls and 2 strikes to Garrett Wood, pinch hitting for Peyton Chatinier. Crotchfelt stretches and pitches, and he lost him low. And that is the first walk surrendered today by Auburn pitching. Think about that. Auburn's first walk, and it takes till the 7th inning today. And that is one of the big differences in the first half of this conference season for Auburn as compared to the second. And now here's a pinch hitter for the Rebels. That's Bo Gatlin. 2 on, 1 down. Bottom of the 7th, the pitch. Missed the inside quarter. And Darren Schoenrock is out to check on Zach Crotchfelt as Murphy warms up in the Auburn pen. Crotchfelt at 34 pitches. Came on in the 5th, retired Chatinier, Furness, and Kramer. Gave off a 1-out single in the 6th. Worked out of trouble there. Gave up a leadoff double to Leger here in the 7th. Struck out Calarco. Walked Wood, and now Gatlin to the plate with a 1-0 count. Auburn 12, Ole Miss nothing. Stretch and the pitch. Fly ball into left center field. Long run, Stanfield, and it's off the bottom of the wall. 2 runs are going to score. Gatlin into second base with a double. It's a 12-2 Auburn lead. And that will be all for Zach Crotchfelt. Darren Schoenrock out of the Auburn dugout, and he makes a Connecticut sausage call to the bullpen. Auburn to the pen to Hayden Murphy, freshman right-hander, 6'3", 185 from Chula, Georgia, and Tift Area Academy. Murphy 1-0 on the year at 10.90 earned run average. This will be his 12th appearance and his 11th in relief. 17 in the third innings, 21 runs on 31 hits, 11 strikeouts, 8 walks, 5 homers, and opponents are hitting .388 against Murphy. No record in the SEC, a 15.880 earned run average. 4 relief appearances in the league, 5 2/3 innings. 10 runs on 11 hits, 7 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 homers, and opponents hitting .423 against Murphy. Zach Crotchfeld maybe just ran out a little gas. 2 1/3 innings for the freshman lefty, giving up 2 runs on 3 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. He threw 35 pitches and 26 for strikes. Auburn leads 12-2 with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, and a runner at second base for the Rebels. And the number 9 hitter scheduled to come to the plate, and Kramer. And we'll get another pinch hitter for Ole Miss. No, excuse me, it is Kramer that will come to the plate for the Rebels. Auburn leads 12-2, a couple more outs, and this one's over. Another run home, and we'll go to the 8th. Bo Gatlin with a pinch hit, 2-run double to left center here in the 7th, plating the first 2 runs of the day for Ole Miss. Kramer 0 for 2 on the day. He's grounded to second and grounded to short. Hayden Murphy, Auburn's 4th pitcher of the day, comes set. And the pitch misses low. As Murphy starts to throw here, Isbell starts to warm up in the Auburn pen. 1-0 delivery. Fly ball to deep right field. That's going to leave the ballpark. And we will go at least until the 8th. A long homer to right by Kramer, his 2nd of the season. And that makes it a 12-4 Auburn lead. No doubter to right by John Kramer. And that closes the book on Crotchfeld. Gave up 3 runs, all earned. Now to the top of the order, and he's Ethan Groff. Wind and the pitch. Groff to left. Down the line, long run for Stanfield, but it falls foul. 0-1 to Groff. 4 runs home in the inning for Ole Miss means we'll play an 8th inning. Tigers up 12-4. Pair of doubles and a home run plating the 4 runs in the inning. The pitch. Chopper up the third baseline, foul. Off the bat of Groff. No balls and 2 strikes. Auburn leads by a score of 12-4. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Murphy, the wind and the pitch. Groff into center. Long run for a Howell. He dives and he made the catch in left center field. Kason Howell takes away extra bases off the bat of Ethan Groff. And there's 2 outs in the inning. Spectacular play. Caught it and then rolled over and held on to the ball. Kason Howell, 2 outs. And here's Jacob Gonzalez. Boy, that was a nice play. Gonzalez, 2 for 3 on the day. Wind and delivery. Ooh, just missed the inside corner. A ball and no strikes. Murphy winds and fires. Missed outside. 1 or 2 balls and no strikes to Gonzalez with Kemp Alderman waiting on deck. Wind, here's the pitch. Ball 3 outside to Alderman, or to Gonzalez. Tigers lead 12-4. Nobody out, nobody on, 2 outs for the Rebels. There's a 3-0 pitch down the middle for a strike. Ole Miss has scored 4 runs here in the 7th, ensuring that this game will at least go to the 8th. Now the wind and the pitch. Strike 2 to Gonzalez. Three-two pitch, here it is. Fly ball into deep center field. Howell is back. He's at the track, and he makes the catch, and the inning's over. 4 runs, though. 3 base hits for the Rebels. No errors and no one left. We go to the 8th. Auburn 12, Ole Miss 4. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Check out the Talking Tigers podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. The Talking Tigers podcast is a series of one-on-one interviews hosted by the voice of the Tigers, Andy Burcham. Each week, Andy is joined by a featured guest with Auburn ties from athletics, entertainment, and other walks of life. Past legends and present trailblazers, insightful and entertaining. It's the Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham. Like and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts today.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. Let's start creating yours with the SUVs of the future, like Ford Escape, Edge, or Explorer. They all earned government 5-star overall crash safety ratings by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, because the SUVs of the future aren't designed for a few. They're for everyone. Be future ready with Ford SUVs. Government 5-star safety ratings are part of the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's new car assessment program. For more information, visit nhtsa.gov.
Bryson Ware will lead off the Auburn 8th inning. Tigers on top 12-4. New second baseman for the Rebels is Garrett Wood. Ole Miss scored 4 times in the bottom of the 7th to stave off elimination and force the 8th inning. Tigers on top 12-4. And Cole Torbert back to work for the Rebels. 12 runs, 15 hits, no errors for Auburn. 4 runs, 7 hits, and 2 errors for the Rebels.
And credit Ole Miss. That's a team that could have just packed it in and given a half-hearted effort there in the bottom of the 7th. With Auburn on top 12-0. They didn't. They worked a walk. They extended the inning and got some big swings for the first time in today's game.
Bryson Ware will lead off the Auburn 8th inning. Stretched by Tolbert in the pitch. Bryson sends it up the middle, and it's through for a base hit off the glove of Gonzalez. And it's a 3-hit day for Bryson Ware.
Well, one of the ways to keep the pressure on is keep your same offensive approach. Get right back out there and swing the bats.
And it brings Ike Irish to the plate. He led off the 7th with a homer. He scored twice today. He is 3 for 4. After Ware led off this inning with the 8th with the single. Irish to the plate. Tigers up 12-4. Stretch in the pitch. Irish swings and misses on a pitch on the inside corner. 0-1 to Ike. Raised his average to .368 on the season. 5 homers and 45 runs batted in. Ware gets his lead. And the pitch to Ike. Strike 2.
With that base hit by Ware, Auburn is now hitting .393 this weekend in Oxford.
Pitch on the way to Irish, and he popped it up foul. Back, catcher Harris gives chase, and he just runs out of room as it hit just the top of the screen above him and falls harmlessly to the artificial surface behind the plate. Like Auburn, they have an artificial surface behind the plate and down into each of the corners. Oh, 0-2 to Ike Irish. Ware out to his lead at first. Stretch and pitch. Fouled back by Irish. Kaysen Howell in the on-deck circle for the Tigers. Auburn leads 12-4, looking for the sweep this weekend. Here's the stretch and the pitch. High and away, a ball and 2 strikes to Ike. Won 16-4 in 8 innings yesterday in the first game of the doubleheader. Won the second game 8-2. And in the top of the 8th with a runner at first and nobody out, lead 12-4 in the third game of the series. Stretch in the pitch. Outside and high, 2-2. Outfield play straight away and a couple steps deep with Irish at the plate. Tolbert comes set. And the 2-2. Irish knocked down by the second baseman. Flips there, throw to first, not in time.
I'm not so sure that Gonzalez was on the bag when he took the throw.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was either, Ratty. It's a great play by Wood to dive and keep it from getting into right. Gonzalez was flying across the bag looking for the double play. He may have just barely got a tip of the cleat there, and Auburn's going to call for a review.
It's very close. We'll need to see it slowed down a little more.
Garrett Wood made a great diving play on a ball that was hit hard to the right side.
Fresh into the ball game to make a diving stop and start the force. And Mike Bianco is out to ask Clint Fagan something or tell him something.
Irish was safe at first. The call at second stands. So it is a force. And here is Kaysen Howell with a runner at first and 1 out. Auburn leads by a score of 12-4. 3 hit days for Auburn. For Irish, Ware, and Pierce. And Irish is at first base with 1 down. Pitch on the way to Kaysen. Down the middle for a strike. Everybody in the Auburn order has at least 1 base hit today. Everybody but Caden Green has scored in today's game. Stretch in the 0-1. Irish off the end of the bat to Wood at second. Flips to second for 1. No return throw to first.
And you're not going to get Kaysen Howell on a slow roller like that. But again, a nice job by Wood to get the lead runner. They've minimized the contact that Auburn's had in this inning.
So Howell at first with 2 down, and here's Caden Green. 1 for 4 with a single up the middle. Looking ahead to the Ole Miss 8th. Heart of their order, Alderman, Harris, and Leger. Auburn will at least have an 8-run lead going into the bottom of the 8th inning. Stretch, throw to first, close, but Ware is back safe, or excuse me, Howell is back safely. Two outs, a runner at first for Auburn. We're in the top of the 8th. Auburn on top 12-4. Pitch. Strike call.
They've done a better job against the bottom 3 in the order for Auburn. That trio of Howell, Green, and LaRue had really been productive yesterday. They've got 3 hits today.
0-1, fouled back by Green. Tolbert, the 4th pitcher of the day for the Rebels. Saunier went 4 innings. Ketchum did not retire a batter. Nichols 2 2/3. And Tolbert on for his 2nd inning of work. He has Green set up, no balls and 2 strikes. Stretching the pitch. Ball up, just up. The ball in, or 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Caden Green. With Nate LaRue waiting on deck. We're in the top of the 8th in game 3 in Oxford. Auburn on top 12-4. Still some work to be done by the Tigers. Stretching the pitch. Green fought off the off-speed pitch that was up a little bit, and he fouled it back to the screen. Mostly sunny skies here in Oxford. Temperatures in the upper 80s. Howell at first with 2 down. Stretching the 1-2. Green through the left side. It's a base hit. Caden Green 2 for 4 on the day.
He hung a slider. Tolbert hung a slider. Green was ready with 2 strikes. Stayed down on the ball and pushed it through the left side. Good at bat by Green.
And here's Nate LaRue. 1 for 4 on the day. Infield single in the 2nd. He popped a second in the 4th. Struck out in the 5th. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored in the 7th. With Howell at 2nd and Green at 1st. Tolbert comes set. And the pitch. Inside, almost hit LaRue. 1 ball and no strikes to the Auburn catcher. Stretch. And the pitch. LaRue took a mighty cut, came up empty at a fastball. 1-1.
Yeah, a little bit up, 91 miles an hour.
Pair of relievers working in the Ole Miss pen if needed. Here's the stretch and the 1-1. Outside corner and a strike. 1-2. One ball and 2 strikes to LaRue. Tolbert comes set. Here's the pitch. LaRue. A little blooper out into left center field. Caught by Groff, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left for Auburn. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Auburn 12, Ole Miss 4. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted all... Oh, no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice, I guess. Crunchy. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
Back to the ballpark for more Auburn baseball.
Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. A Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen for the Tigers for right-hander Chase Isbell out of Springville by way of Samford. 6'2", 210. Senior right-hander makes his first appearance on the weekend. For the year, Isbell is 2-1 in 19 outings, 18 in relief. A 7.12 earned run average. 24 innings for Isbell, 25 hits, 19 runs, all earned. He's walked 14, struck out 33. Team's rating 269 against Chase Isbell. Last time out, Isbell in the Friday game against LSU, an inning and 2/3, scoreless, hitless, with a walk and 3 strikeouts. He threw 26 pitches 8 days ago. On the year in conference play, Isbell, no record and a 9.35 earned run average. He does have a save, 10 appearances, 3rd most on the team. 8 2/3 innings, 9 runs, 9 hits, 8 walks, 11 strikeouts, and 273 the average against Chase Isbell. Hayden Murphy, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks or strikeouts. Hayden threw 11 pitches, 7 for strikes. And the hit that he gave up was a home run. Faced 3 batters.
Here is Kemp Alderman to face Chase Isbell in the bottom of the 8th. Auburn on top 12-4. Stretch and the pitch. Strike call on the outside corner. A fastball at 95 from Isbell. Chase comes set. Pitch to Alderman. Fly ball into center. Into right center, actually, and Howell is there. 1 out. Auburn's done a pretty good job pitching to that guy this week.
Yeah, you're right.
Gave up a run-scoring double to him yesterday. He's 1 for 4 today. A guy that came in with 19 homers and 59 runs batted in. Here's Calvin Harris.
Yeah, had a hit in all 3 games, but his hit in the first game came in the 8th inning when it was all but decided at that point. Really didn't do any damage.
Harris is 0 for 3 in the finale today. Pitch on the way. Missed and gets by LaRue to the backstop. 12 runs, 17 hits, no errors for Auburn. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Rebels. 1 out, nobody on in the 8th for Ole Miss. Stretch by Chase Isbell. Here comes the pitch. Strike call on the outside corner, 1-1.
Auburn's done a good job against Harris as well. He's 1 for 11 this weekend.
Left-handed hitter against the right-hander Isbell. Now the 1-1. Base hit. Well, nope, right to Green in the shift, the first for the out.
That's why you play the shift.
That's
there.
Exactly right.
It would have been through the hole between first and second, but the shift put Green in short right field, and it came right to him.
The defensive positioning by the Auburn infielders, I think at some degree the outfielders I know the infield handled by Carl Nonemaker. Well, that was perfectly placed. And here's Ethan Leger. He started the 7th with a double and came home to score the first of 4 runs. Stretched by Isbell in the pitch. Missed low, 1-0. I think LaRue would like to know where that one was.
Mm-hmm. He tried to bring it back up.
Leger 1 for 3 with a run scored and a double. Stretch and delivery. Hit him. Came up and in a little bit, got him.
Yeah, Isbell frustrated with that. The Ole Miss athletic trainers will go out, but that one just slipped on him. He did a full 360 after the pitch.
I don't know where it got him either. I don't know if it got him on the ribs, get him on the hip.
I'm waiting on a replay myself. Here it is. Yeah,
got him on the ribs.
On the ribs. Ouch.
Right underneath the armpit. So 2 outs were the runner at first, and Anthony Calarco coming to the plate. Looks like Leger will stay in the ball game. The last thing that Isbell wanted to do there with 2 outs and nobody on was hit a batter.
Up 8.
Yeah. So Leger at first and Calarco at the plate. Isbell comes set. Here's the pitch. Popped up, left side out of play. Auburn won the first game 16-4 yesterday in 8 innings. Won the nightcap of yesterday's doubleheader 8-2 and leads in this one 12-4. Stretch and delivery. Ground ball to the right side, 2 hops to Green. His throw to first on the money, and the inning comes to a close. No runs, no hits, no errors. A man left for the Rebels. We go to the 9th in Oxford. Auburn 12, Ole Miss 4. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfully.
Children's of Alabama reminds you that every child's head injury should be treated like a serious injury until a doctor says it's not. In fact, the CDC estimates some 4 million sports and recreation-related concussions occur each year. Even a minor fall or collision may be a concern. Symptoms typically include headaches, unsteadiness, confusion, or sleepiness. To find out what to do in case of a suspected concussion, visit childrensal.org/concussion and always dial 911 in case of an emergency.
In 1925, Modelo began brewing beer for those who believe in better. A model beer, steeped in the tradition of tireless effort. A rich Pilsner-style lager for those who wear their heart and heritage in their rolled-up sleeve. Since our first batch to every bottle raised today, we've proved that it doesn't matter where you come from. It matters what you're made of. Modelo Especial, brewed for those with a fighting spirit. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Top of the order for Auburn in the ninth. Tigers will send Stanfield, Foster, and Pierce to the plate. Sporting a 12-4 lead in the third and final game of this series. Auburn with 3 homers on the day. Foster hit his 10th. McMurray a grand slam. His 13th homer of the season in the 5th. And Ike Irish with a leadoff homer in the 7th. And it will be Stanfield, Foster, and Pierce here in the 9th for Auburn. Two-hit day for Stanfield, who's been on base 4 of the 5 times he's been up there. And that's what you want out of your leadoff man. Scored a couple runs as well.
Good to see him stick with the offensive approach. He was frustrated through most of the doubleheader yesterday.
First pitch to him. On the outside corner, a strike on a slider.
And then doubled in his last at bat last night. And we, maybe lightheartedly said, well, maybe that carries over to tomorrow.
0-1 pitch. Chris to the right side. Knocked down by the first baseman, and it rolls just beyond him. And Stanfield's aboard with another infield single.
Calarco got the glove on it. Probably saved extra bases by doing that because it wasn't moving very quickly down the first base line. But once he smothered it, couldn't get to his feet, and it didn't secure the ball. Stanfield easily aboard.
Cole Foster on the day is 2 for 4. He scored twice. He's driven home 2 runs, including a massive home run back in the 3rd, his 10th of the season. A leadoff single for Stanfield as he gets his lead at first. Stretch in the pitch. Fastball a little bit up to Foster.
What a great weekend for Cole. 6 hits, 3 home runs, 6 RBIs, and 7 runs scored.
It's the stretch. Now the pitch to Foster. Inside, he skips out of the way. He's been terrific at the plate, either side of the plate for Auburn this weekend. 2 balls and no strikes, the pitch. There's a strike. 2 balls and a strike to the Auburn shortstop. Outfield plays a couple steps deep with Foster at the plate, especially in center and in right. Now the 2-1. Foster drives it to right. It's a base hit. His 3rd hit of the day. First and second, and nobody out for the Tigers. A 3-hit afternoon for Cole Foster. And now Bobby Barrels to the plate for the Tigers. A 3-hit day for Pierce. He has 8 hits this weekend. And that may be all for Tolbert. Mike Bianco is out. He looks to the bullpen, and he wants a lefty. It's a Conecuh sausage call to the bullpen.
Conecuh sausage is a product we all know and love, and it's the official sausage and hot dog of the Auburn Tigers. Conecuh sausage is made from the finest cuts of pork, patented blend of seasonings, all natural casings, and smoked over a pure hickory fire for that true southern flavor. Enjoy a crowd-pleasing Conecuh sausage dog or premium hot dog while watching the Tigers, and make Conecuh part of your game day or any day. Conecuh sausage is celebrating their 75th year of the Sessions family, making their premium smoked sausage in Evergreen, Alabama. Be sure to visit the new Conecuh gift shop right off I-65 at exit 96.
New pitcher is on for Ole Miss, and this is Kimbrell, who we saw in one of the games yesterday. Jackson Kimbrell, 6'1", 200-pound senior left-hander from Oak Mountain High School in Birmingham. Kimbrell on the season 0-2, a 9.82 earned run average, 11 appearances, 7 1/3 innings, 11 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. He's walked 6, struck out 6. In the SEC, 0-1 with a 10.80 earned run average, 3 1/3, 5 runs on 4 hits and 3 walks, 1 strikeout. He's given up a couple of home runs in SEC play. Teams are hitting .286 against Jackson Kimbrell. He he pitched 1 inning here yesterday, gave up 1 unearned run on 1 hit. That was a double. Auburn was 1 for 5 against him yesterday.
Inning and a third for Tolbert. No runs, 6 hits, but he is responsible for Stanfield at second and Foster at first.
Auburn with the back-to-back singles to start this inning. The Tigers as a team this weekend in Oxford have hit .398. That's not a game. That is over a 3-game stretch. And I wonder what it would be if we go back to the LSU game Sunday. Probably could do that. Couldn't I?
I will leave that to you. Here's Bobby Pierce with runners at first and second and nobody out in the Auburn ninth. Tigers up 12-4. Jackson Kimbrell, the 5th pitcher of the day for the Rebels, following Cole Tolbert, Mason Nichols, Cole Ketchum, and Grayson Saunier. Lefty stretches and pitches. Pierce takes it inside for ball 1. 3 hit days for Stanfield, Foster, Pierce, Ware. Everybody with at least 1 hit on the afternoon in the starting lineup for the Tigers. 19 hits total. And Pierce takes a strike, 1-1.
Actually, going back to that game against LSU, it doesn't help the narrative. Auburn got a lot of its runs off walks in that game.
Yeah, remember Little struggled so much right off the bat.
Auburn was 8 for 33 officially, but with a lot of walks.
1-1 to Pierce on the way. Bobby chops it foul down the third baseline. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pierce, batting .379 now. First and second, nobody out for Auburn in the ninth. Tigers on top, 12-4.
Raised his average 7 points so far today.
Stretch and the 1-2 pitch. Just missed the inside corner, 2-2. Outfield plays Pierce slightly the opposite way. Center fielder Groff just a couple steps into right center. 2-2 pitch. Pierce down the third baseline, foul. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Auburn Sports Network. Two balls and 2 strikes to Bobby Pierce. Stretch and delivery. Bobby fouls it straight back to the screen.
He had that off-speed pitch lined up pretty well.
Infield single for Stanfield. Single to right by Foster. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count to Pierce. Nobody out in the Auburn ninth. Stretch in the pitch. Bobby up the middle, takes the glove off the pitcher. He'll throw to first in time for the out. Literally took the glove off of Kimbrell. 1 out. Stanfield to third and Foster to second.
Bobby has hit a couple of balls this weekend that off the bat, you're surprised the ball stayed intact. He hit them so hard. And the athletic trainer for Ole Miss out to take a look at Kimbrell. It was right into the glove, but the force was so great that, it just pulled the glove right off his hand, and they're going to let Kimbrell throw a pitch to make sure he's okay.
It hit his glove. The glove fell behind the mound about a foot or so behind the mound. He reached down, picked up the ball, and threw out Pierce at first. I'll bet Bobby's chewing his teeth going back to the dugout. Here's Cooper McMurray. Cooper, one base hit, but is a biggie today. There's a strike on the outside corner.
Well, it changed the complexion of the game.
Yeah, it did.
At the time, it was 3-0. It proves to be right now to be go-ahead runs or deciding runs if Ole Miss stays where it is.
Swing and a miss by McMurray. He's behind 0-2. Yeah, it went from 3-0 to 7-0 with literally one swing of the bat on the first pitch he saw in the 5th inning. 0-2 to McMurray, second and third, one out. The pitch. Swing, he hits one to right. There is Alderman to make the catch. Stanfield tags, and he will score. And Foster goes to third on the play, and Auburn leads at 13-4. A sacrifice fly for McMurray. It's a 5 RBI day for Cooper. That gives him 45 this season. And 2 outs in the inning. Foster to third, and here is Bryson Ware, who is 3 for 5 today. He's raised his average to 354. Stretch and the pitch. Up the right side, slashes it, look out. Hits the lemonade, the frozen lemonade umbrella down there.
I wonder if they're still selling those at this point in the ball game.
It's a good question, Brad. 0-1. Inside, a ball and a strike to Bryson.
That's going to push his SEC average up around the 315 mark. And, we talked in February and in early March. If Bryson could continue his hot hitting from the pre-conference schedule into SEC play, what a difference it would make for this team, and it absolutely has.
Ware swings and misses at a pitch down and in, blocked by Harris. Count goes to a ball and 2 strikes.
Almost half of his RBIs have come in league play. Over half of his home runs. He's a homer shy of 20. 3 more hits today.
1 ball and 2 strikes to Bryson. Kimbrell comes set in the pitch. Strike 3 call on the inside corner. The inning is over. A run on 2 hits, no errors, a man left. We go to the bottom of the 9th in Oxford. Auburn 13, Ole Miss 4. Stay tuned. Auburn baseball continues in a moment.
A swing so powerful it takes our breath away. Whoa, what a grab! A double play that has us high-fiving strangers, swaying together with every take me out to the ball game, and the rally that brings us to our feet as one. At Alabama Power, we believe that sharing 9 innings of baseball makes us a better community. It's a powerful spirit that energizes the communities we serve. It's power for a better Alabama. Alabama Power is a proud supporter of the Auburn Tigers.
In SEC sports, the ifs come at you every minute. What if your QB had released the ball a second earlier? What if the head coach hadn't used his last time out? What if your team goes all the way this season? If you love the tradition, if you live for the rivalry, if you can't wait each week for the absolute edge of your seat action, Regions is right there with you as the official bank of the SEC.
Regions can't help you with the ifs in sports. Regions helps you raise the
Member FDIC.
This broadcast of Auburn baseball is brought to you in part by Chick-fil-A. Download the Chick-fil-A app to earn and redeem points. Eat more chicken and War Eagle.
Bottom third of the order for the Rebels. It will be Wood, Gatlin, and Kramer to face Chase Isbell in the bottom of the 9th. Auburn 13, Ole Miss 4. 13 runs on 19 hits today for Auburn. The Rebels scored all 4 of their runs and staved off the run rule in the 7th. Auburn led 12-0 at that point. Tigers have added another run since then. Chase Isbell out to close this one down. Garrett Wood came on as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning, walked and scored. Isbell, Murphy, Crotchfelt, Nelson, and Herberholtz. The 5 Auburn pitchers today. The longest outing, Crotchfelt, 2 1/3. Isbell, his second inning of work here. He comes set in the pitch. Just missed the inside corner, 1-0. Wood, left-hand hitter. As Isbell comes set. Now the 1-0. Missed outside, 2-0. Auburn won the first game of yesterday's doubleheader 16-4. Won the second game, the nightcap, 8-2. And lead in the finale of the series today, 13-4. 2-0 the count to Wood. Here's the pitch. Line drive down the right field line. It's a base hit. Pierce is over to get it. Wood holds up with a single. And that brings Bo Gatlin in. Nope. We'll have a pinch hitter. Reagan Burford, the pinch hitter. Burford, a right-hand hitter against Isbell. Wood at first. A leadoff single here in the ninth. Stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Ware relatively close to the third base line. The second baseman Green shading up the middle. Wood at first gets his lead. And the 0-1 to Burford. Fly ball to left down the line. That will get out of play. About 4 rows deep into the chairback seats. Bryson Ware reaches down as it rolled down to the edge and tossed it back to one of the youngsters at the ballpark. No balls and 2 strikes to Burford. John Kramer was on deck. But we'll get another pinch hitter for the Rebels here in the on deck circle. Will Plattner, pitch on the way. Bounces up there and away from LaRue, and Wood will go to second base. Runner at second, nobody out for the Rebels in the bottom of the ninth. Auburn leads at 13-4. A ball and 2 strikes to the pinch hitter, Ryan Burford. Stretched by Isbell. And the pitch home. Strike 3 call. Slider on the inside corner for a strikeout. 1 down in the inning, and here's Plattner to pinch hit. Plattner hitting .333. This will be just the 7th game that he has played this season for the Rebels. Freshman catcher out of Springfield, Illinois, Glenwood High School. Stretched by Isbell. Here's the pitch to Plattner. Fastball that missed low. Top of the order, and Ethan Groff waiting on deck, and we'll get a pinch hitter there as well. Stretch by Isbell and the pitch. Again, it missed low. At the corner, but missed low, 2-0. Is that TJ McCants in the on deck circle? I think it is, yeah. 2-0 pitch, here it is. Swing and a miss out in front. 2 balls and a strike. Stretch and the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes to count to Plattner. Isbell comes set. Here comes the pitch. Got him swinging. Back-to-back strikeouts for Isbell. And Auburn is an out away from a sweep in Oxford, where it hadn't won a series, a game, let alone a series, since 2012. And T.J. McCants, a key member of that national championship team a year ago, to the plate with 2 outs and a runner at second base for the Rebels. McCants hitting .230 this year, 9 homers, 26 runs batted in. Stretch by Isbell, the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. McCants has started 37 games this year, played in 45, but this is his first at bat of the weekend. The stretch and the pitch to McCants. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Isbell gets the sign and comes set. The stretch and the 0-2 pitch. Just missed the outside corner. Auburn was hoping for that called third strike. Now ball and 2 strikes the count. Brad Law will be on the field post-game. Regis Bank post-game show coming up. The stretch. And the 1-2 to McCants. Way outside, 2-2. Jacob Gonzalez waits on deck for the Rebels. Tigers lead at 13-4. Garrett Wood at second base, reached on a single. Stretch by Isbell, and the 2-2 to McCants. Fly ball into shallow center field. And out, and it falls, and Wood scores, and McCants is safe. Caden Green had the best shot at that one, but just couldn't quite get to the ball. And it's 13-5, Auburn on top. An RBI single for McCants. And now Jacob Gonzalez to the plate. Auburn 13, Ole Miss 5. McCants at first with a big lead. Stretch by Isbell in the pitch. Swing and a miss by Gonzalez, 0-1. Ninth hit of the day for the Rebels. Open stance from Gonzalez as Isbell comes set and pitches. Line drive over the head of Green and into right. McCants will hold up at second. First and second with 2 outs. Throw came back in to Foster, who tried to get a tag on McCants, but he held up at second base. Just over the glove of Caden Green. A 3-hit day for Gonzalez, and here's Kemp Alderman. 13-5, Auburn leads it. 2 outs, runners at first and second for the Rebels. Chase Isbell trying to get that third and final out of the series. Alderman is 1 for 4. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Alderman drove home a run with a double yesterday. Has a hit in each of the 3 games this weekend. He bats with runners at first and second. And 2 outs here in the 9th inning. The wind or the stretch and the pitch. He went around. Oh, they say he didn't. Goodness gracious. A ball and a strike now to Alderman. One and one the count to the right fielder for the Rebels as Isbell comes set. And the 1-1 pitch to Alderman. Here it is. Popped it up. Shallow right. Green is out. He calls off everybody. And for the first time since 2018, the Tigers go on the road and sweep an SEC opponent. Auburn 13, Ole Miss 5. The Tigers get above 500 in the SEC for the first time this season. Auburn sweeps the Rebels, winning 16-4, 8-2, and 13-5. Stay tuned. The Regis Bank postgame show is next. This is the Auburn Sports Network from Playfly.
Here's a clip from the recent Talking Tigers podcast with Andy Burcham.
Auburn's associate head coach for equestrian, Jessica Braswell, joins us.
I came to school here, rode
All right,
on the
Brady,
team,
talk to me.
and then I stayed
1 2
and
check
was
1
the
2
first graduate
Sounded good.
assistant.
Yep.
I didn't get to coach, but I got to see the operations side and what